Welcome. We'll get started in just a minute. We're just letting everyone to join. Welcome. Welcome again, everyone. It's so wonderful to see everyone joining in. And if it's possible, it would be wonderful to see everyone's video as well. So please feel free to turn on your videos too. It will be wonderful to see faces of all of our community. Welcome. All right, it's 8:31, but we still see people joining in. So we'll go ahead and get started. So a very warm welcome to all of you. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I think a lot of people are joining from many different time zones. So Jai Jinendra, and we are very excited to start our program today. And this is our special edition for JAINA Education Committee, and you'll hear a lot about all the activities that are happening as part of JAINA Education Committee, and we are very grateful for JAINA to organize this. So before we get started, and I know people from different time zones, most of us have had or most of you have had a full day. I know for me, right now I'm visiting, I'm Pratiksha Shah, by the way. I'm part of the JAINA Education Committee, and we'll just take a few moments to gather ourselves here and do a quick meditation. Just if you all will, to close your eyes and just ground ourselves in this moment here. And just a couple of deep breaths and experience the community and the gatherness we have here today. And notice ourselves just settling down and being present for the time that all of us are going to spend together today. I know for all of us as volunteers, our hearts are filled with a lot of gratitude, and we welcome all of you. So just 3 deep breaths, and we'll get started with prayer. Welcome again, everyone, and thank you so much. And we'll start with our Namaskar Sutra prayer.
Jai Jinendra, please fold your hands and close your eyes as we recite Namaskar Sutra. Namo Arahantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam, Eso Panchana Mukaro, Sava Pava Panashano, Mangalanancha Savesim, Padhamam Havai Mangalam, Padhamam Havai Mangalam. Jai Jinendra, everyone. My name is Sejal Shah, and I'm also part of JAINA Education Committee. So on behalf of JAINA Education Committee members, I would like to thank Haresh Bhai Shah, President of the Federation of JAINA, for recognizing the importance of Jain education in this era. and especially organizing this special event to create awareness and to spread that awareness of several projects that are undertaken by JAINA Education Committee. We sincerely appreciate you, Harish Bhai, for giving us this opportunity. And it's my pleasure to welcome Harish Bhai Shah, President of JAINA, to say a few words. So over to you, Harish Bhai. Harish Bhai, you will have to unmute.
Pranam and Jai Janendra. The crown jewel of JAINA is without a doubt the JAINA Education Committee. The Jain e-library with hundreds of thousands of pages in multiple languages is a miracle in itself. The free website is subscribed by 80,000 plus students and scholars of Jainism from more than 200 countries who have visited the site over and over more than 2 million times. It is the JAINA Education Committee that has unified Pathsalas of North America with a comprehensive non-sectarian curriculum in English, benefiting thousands of our kids over the last 20 plus years. The committee has also created a fraternity to over 300 Pathsala teachers and that interact with each other continuously and meet every 4 years at JAINA conventions. These Pathsalas rely on the books published by the JAINA Education Committee for various age levels that are continuously revised from the suggestions of the Pathsala teachers. The JAINA Education Committee provides these books at a minimal cost and makes them available on the JAINA e-library website for easy and assured access. Besides the Pathsala books, the JAB competitions to test the children's knowledge of basics of Jainism in a fun-filled format of a quiz show is the most wonderful invention of the JAINA Education Committee. JAB, the JAINA Academic Ball, is now a separate committee, but its foundation is the JAB manual assembled over the last 15 years, again with the inputs of the teachers, volunteers, and the kids. JAB is no longer just limited to this continent. It has become an international phenomenon. The 2021 JAINA Convention saw a participation of 6 countries in the international JAB competition, and the Team India took a top prize. JAINA India Foundation recently translated the JAB manual in the Gujarati language, and soon the Hindi language edition will be issued as well. Thus, the spark generated by JAINA is illuminating Pathsalas across the world. The Pathsala model created by the JAINA Education Committee is now adopted in multiple countries, including India. The list goes on. The Education Committee's blog on current issues in the Jain community is another great achievement. It reaches to the thousands of people around the world in a lively discussion forum. All of this is a result of one man's vision, dedication, and efforts. Praveen Bhai has made JAINA a household name in the Jain world by constantly presenting and improving knowledge of Jainism to the people of all ages for the past 20 years. He has created an army of dedicated, hardworking volunteers who are inspired by his selfless perseverance. He has served cause of Jainism by Tan, Man, and Dhan. Jaina is forever grateful for his and his family's service to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Arish Bhai. That was wonderful opening remarks and absolutely loved what you said, crown jewel of Jaina. Because I think education, as you pointed out, is the foundation. And we are very grateful for you and the executive committee of Jaina to recognize that. And couldn't have said it better for what you said for Praveen Uncle, but I do have pleasure of formally introducing Praveen Uncle before he gives his opening remarks. So I know we call him Praveen Uncle. For all of us, he's Praveen Uncle. He's the chairperson of Jaina Education Committee. And so Praveen Uncle, as Harish Bhai mentioned, he has served Jaina or Jainism for many, many years. I think it's over 50 years that he has served the Jain community. He's a Jain scholar, he's educator, innovator, organizer, and pioneer in using in technology in Jainism. And that's the vision that is being carried forward. He's a mentor to so many of us who are eager and curious to learn about Jainism and serve. He does extensive research of our Jain literature and scriptures and continues to discuss challenging questions of current times with acharyas, Maharaj Sahibs, and scholars for guidance. He not only knows a great deal about Jainism, but he also has a deep understanding about the world in which we and our children live here in United States. And he's able to show how Jainism has a place in our daily life. Praveen Uncle is someone who is willing to answer any question, no matter how controversial that question is. And for any topic, he does the research and gets to the root of it. And there is a reason why he does this, because he refuses to accept an answer just because that's the way it is. And this is an extremely difficult task when it comes to religion and challenging a belief system that people have held on to for many years. It requires courage, dedication, calmness, open-mindedness, and commitment. And Praveen Uncle has all of those qualities. Whenever you ask him a question, he provides the logic, principle that he uses to arrive to a particular perspective, which to me is a testament and true embodiment of Maheshwami's core teaching, which is not to accept anything that he said blindly, but to always test with our own experience, reasoning, and logic. The best quote that Praveen Uncle always uses, and then we all have it all the time, is use your own wisdom. To name a few contributions of Praveen Uncle, he established Jain e-library in 2008. He published complete set of Jaina Pathshala education material for various age group, as Harish Bhai mentioned. He represented Jainism at various interfaith organizations locally and internationally. His advocacy to prevention of animal cruelty has impacted many lives. He has authored many books like of World Religion, the Book of Compassion, English Pratikaman, to just name a few. All of us here have many stories of Praveen Uncle's knowledge and wisdom for contributed over many lives. And the store listens towards Jain education and compassion for animal life and continues to impact youth and adult and will continue to serve generations to come. So without further delay, I would like to invite Praveen Uncle to please share some opening remarks. Praveen Uncle.
Praveen Uncle,
You need to unmute. Praveen Uncle. Yeah, Praveen Uncle, you need to unmute. Yeah, well, Praveen Uncle is unmuting. from all of you, and we are very grateful for all of you joining and supporting all of these efforts. I think my internet connection was unstable a little bit in between. I hope I was still audible. Okay.
Himen, can you unmute Praveen uncle?
I have sent request.
Praveen uncle, Praveen uncle, Praveen uncle, can you hear us?
Pratiksha, can you call him?
I'll
Yes.
call him.
Yeah, we'll just wait for Praveen uncle to join. But as while we're waiting for Praveen uncle, we have Harish bhai did a very wonderful, comprehensive, gave you all a very comprehensive overview of all the projects that we are doing as part of JAINA education. And what you're going to see is we're going to go in depth for all of those projects. And we're going to talk about what those projects are, what have we done, and what you can expect in future. So, and you will also get to hear from a lot of our volunteers. And I think Harish bhai said it right. It is an army of volunteers who love to work on these efforts because we have such a growth as we are working on this, all the different activities that we do. So you'll get to hear about JAB, you'll get to hear about e-library, you'll also get to hear about the workshops that we have and the block committee, and you'll get to hear about the outreach that we have. So we are going to go in depth for all of those projects.
I'm just trying to reach him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, so while we are waiting for Praveen uncle to unmute, just a quick question. And you guys can, all of you can just put it in chat. Does anyone know when did our written documentation for Agam start? After Mahavir Swami's Nirvan? What was like around how much time passed before the written documentation of Agam start? You can put it in chat. When did it start? Raj, does people have chat feature enabled? 1400 years after, from Vallabhpur,
Praveen uncle is on mute now.
900 years after, 2nd century. Wonderful. I think all of these absolutely 1400 years, 2nd century, 900 years later, absolutely right. And I think that is such critical point of information that the knowledge passed on from one person to another person. It was verbally passed on, and the written document is started almost 1,000 years, after 10 generations after Mahavir Swami's Nirvan. And we still have that knowledge that we all get enriched by. So thank you all for giving answers. And I think we have Praveen uncle on unmute now. Awesome.
Yeah.
Uncle, over to you.
Thank you, Pratiksha. Now you can imagine, I came to this country in 1967 when I was about 26 years old. Now I'm 82 years old, and I'm doing every place good except the software technology side point of view. Okay, and so you got to little bit excuse me. I am a very healthy person. I don't take even no medicine at this age of 82. And the only reason is this is what Jainism taught me what to do. So anyway, we started the Jaina Education Committee in 1992 under the leadership of Dr. Gada. After the 1992, I was teaching the teachers at the teaching TG2. When I was in a high school and college in India, basically I'm born and brought up in Ahmedabad. And when I did this one, I studied like Panch Pratikaman by heart. I can do Samvatsari Pratikaman. All these things I knew it, whatever is Maharaj Sahib told us to do it, and that's what we did. The point what turned out to be after having my first daughter in 1970, and when she started asking the question, and I found out that I have no knowledge of anything about Jainism. And I decided that I need to study Jainism myself, because we are engineers, so it's not difficult to study any subject. And we did teaching Jainism point of view, understanding the principle at the electron level. And we got to always start rooting at the, finding what the electron level principle is. Anyway, to make it short, I got that responsibility under the leadership of Dr. Gada. And year 2000, he went to India to work on Jainism under in Pune. And I got the responsibility of Jainism, complete Jaina Education Committee under me. We have come a long way. We established all these books, syllabus, curriculum. Dr. Gada started it, we continue it. And we made it not only printing the books, but also bringing the books to this country, establish the distribution systems, the whole 9 yards, starting from preparing the books, printing, distribution, everything we did. Then Pathshala teachers needed a reference books. We established at that time, just right for the technology, JAINA library. And it was a kind of a manual work, significantly manual work. We complete that one. After that, we did these support activities, significant aspect. We really started interactive methods on a workshop, English Pratikamans, and other rituals in English. Several aspects which you will know it, you will see it. Each one expert is going to take this presentation and going to come and explain to you. So without wasting the time, what I would like to tell you, these three acharyas, what I have here, Param Pujya Ajay Sagarji Maharaj, Sri Nandi Gosuri, and the Muni Dipratna Sagarji. They are our advisors. They really help us out whenever we have any questions, all this one. But ultimately, we decide which way to go, because Dhiradal Panditji, of course, he's passed away. Now he's also help us out significantly, because they all love, because we are teaching the children of this country. And this is the only way these traditions will continue. After this one, okay, today we have more than 30 members in my committee. And you can see all these numbers, you name from which place it is, location, email address. Okay, they are all very learned people, came to this country and also continue learning, teaching, everything like that. So we are kind of a very fortunate to have such a wise, hardworking, learned team to establish the root in this country. Continue. There are few Pathshala teachers, they were students before. They got so much excited and doing the work, so they did it like Parinda Shah, okay, Pratiksha, what you heard in the beginning. They prepared the entire book and given to the Jaina Education Committee. Okay, here is the book. And we use that books completely as a part of the curriculum. Anyway, so that is how we are going to continue it. I'm going to now explain a little bit the complete curriculum and what we have it, preparations, printing, distribution, how, just a brief overview, what are we doing? So can you go to the next slide? Okay, the educational resources, which we talk like Jain e-libraries, Jain quantums, the searchable Jain e-libraries, okay, searchable Agam Unicodes, English Pratikaman. There are so many things we have done. Jain blog, of course, the Pratiksha is the chairperson of the Jain blog now. Okay, it was a part of the Jain education before. And we already published about 29, 30 questions. And look at the number of comments and all the responses what we have received. We are proud of our children. In that sense, we are saying these traditions will continue. Okay, if we continue to find these young teachers, who are willing to, without any trouble, discuss the answer of such a difficult questions. And if you go to the blog, you will find out what kind of the responses we are receiving from the world. Okay, so that is the interactive things, community reach programs. We are using the technology right to that extent, and we are reaching out to the people is unbelievable number. Every day we got more than 400 to 500 books being downloaded from our books. Okay, and the number of people visiting the blogs and all other things. Jain QQ is horrendous. Okay, continue next. Okay.
Thank you, Praveen Uncle. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your opening remarks. And Praveen Uncle is absolutely right. Like, there have been so many people who have come before us. And because of that, we are all here. So forever grateful for that. And we are just continuing the work of many, many people who have served before us. And we really wish that this will serve the community to come further. And as you mentioned, Praveen Uncle, go through the 4 core components, if you will, for our JAINA education. One is Pathshala. That is where we are making the knowledge accessible. Then e-library, where we are making all the other information accessible in a web platform in current era. And then the interactive learning, where we can help internalize that knowledge and then making it available through our social media presence. So those are the 4 categories that you will see us go through for all of our program today. But I can imagine that some of you already might have questions. So has Jill already started doing that? Please do write your questions in chat and we'll definitely get to it. So I invite everyone, if you have any questions or any thought comes up, please just write that in chat. We have our team members already monitoring the chat. So with that, as Praveen Uncle mentioned, we have so many committee members, over 30 members, and members who were even before us who have served and done a lot of work. We all hold some core beliefs as part of our JAINA Education Committee. And these you can think of these as our guiding principles when we are conducting any activity, whether it is doing the Pathshala project or e-library or Jain QQ or our workshops or any projects that you see within JAINA education. All of us hold these core beliefs, and this has become our guiding principles. So the very first one is be compassionate to all living creatures, be kind to Mother Earth. And what we mean by that is that so the intentional things that we mean behind that one sentence is that we promote eliminating or replacing any himsak product from our life, whether it is in our rituals or just in our day-to-day life. It also means that we promote practicing strictly vegetarian and vegan lifestyle and eliminating usage and consumption of any animal products from our life. We promote eliminating usage of storage and styrofoam plastic, spoons, cups, bowls, and use biodegradable paper products to protect the environment. And to support all of these, we really go by and make it simplified for us. It's like 4 R's, right? Like refuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle to eliminate wastage. So when we have this one line that says be compassionate to all living creatures, these are the ways that we hold to ourselves and how we want to put it in practice. So that's our first core belief. The next one is we do not endorse any gender biased inequalities. And what we mean by that is this is something that is even coming from Bhagwan Mahavir, right? He established a fourfold order of Jain Sangh, which we all know as Chaturvid Sangh, in which we have Sadhu, Sadhvi, Shravak, and Shravika. He neither agreed nor promoted to any gender-based inequalities or rather any other kind of inequalities. And we are kind of carrying forward that mindset in any work that we do, in any books that we publish, in any question that we answer. And the next one is we do not promote blindly following any rituals based on tradition or blind faith. And this is again going back to the fundamental core teaching of Bhagwan Mahavir, where he said, do not believe anything that I say blindly, use your own logic on your own wisdom. And as we all know, Jainism is a religion of reflection and not action. So we can use our own wisdom and not become timid or rigid followers of culture or legacy tradition. The spirituality aspect, values and principle always remains in forefront. And the next, that brings me to the next core belief that we have, that we want to make our Jain core values and principles understandable based on individuals' present spiritual level. And what we mean by that is Jainism is explained and taught through 4 anuyog: Kathanuyog, Karnanuyog, Charnanuyog, and Dravyanuyog. And we're not going to get into details for this, but this is something that we all wanted you to kind of have as a seed. And if you all want to learn more details, this is something you will hear about. We have workshops, we have a lot of information on this, but this is something we all wanted you to kind of think of as seed, that this is how we want Jainism to be taught and understood. And most importantly, right now is we want to make Jainism applicable in our current environment, time, place, and circumstance. The values, the principles are as old as hills, as old as mountains, like thousands, no matter how old it is. But we have to make it accessible, and we have to make it something that people can understand and practice in our current time. And this is why we place a lot of emphasis on this. So our youths are encouraged to practice Jainism that leads to more spiritual progress and that leads them to live a life, a Jain way of life. I think, and the next one is, so as Praveen Uncle mentioned earlier, we have 4 projects, 4 big categories, if you will. And the first one we are now going to start with is Pathshala. And Praveen Uncle is going to, and then we have, so Pathshala, we have educational resources, we have interactive learning, and we have community reach. So we just wanted to give you an overview. These are the 4 big categories that you will see us go through. And the first one, so if think of the first one as knowledge, making knowledge available to our youth through our Pathshalas, educational resources, making everything available globally through our internet. So e-library, Jain content, searchable agams. Interactive learning is our attempt to make that knowledge our own, to make that knowledge understandable. And then community reach, it's spreading the knowledge. So with that, we'll start with Pathshala curriculum and books, and Praveen Uncle will share a lot of insight into what goes and what are the books that are available and what goes into printing, distributing, and making it all available.
Thank you. Thank you, Pratiksha. Okay, what we have done, we established the curriculum and we divided all our Pathshala students. By the way, our Pathshala students are anywhere between 4,500 to 5,000. This many students use these books. Okay, so we have a one curriculum, one course across North America, means including Canada and USA, and all the societies, which is more than 75 Jain societies. They all use these books. And these books, the total number of the books are 16. Out of that, 9 is the Pathshala books and the remaining are the reference books. These books took us a long time to prepare, published, and distributed. We contacted every major Pathshala's teachers teaching that particular course, and you make sure they all look into the books, agree this one, and if there is any error left, we correct it as time passes. And we have all these books are in the Word format. So it's easier to correct, move and change and move. So that's the kind of the things now we have done as far as Pathshala books. We go ahead, next slide, please. Right, the Pathshala books are the non-sectarian. This is a very critical things. Probably in the world, the Jaina Pathshala books and Pathshalas, they are the non-sectarian Jain. They are not the Digambar Pathshala or Svetambar Pathshalas or anything else. Our children recognized by Jains, they are not recognized by Digambar, Svetambar, Stanakwasi, Terapanthis, Srimad, Kanji Swami, and many more subsets or no of that one. And at least if that thing can accomplished, I think this is the great accomplishments in the Jain community, which in India, in Europe, everywhere else, people have tried and tried, and they are not successful as what we have, the 5,000 children using the same course material. Same material now has the Digambar photos, Svetambar photos, okay, and Stanakwasi, Deravasi, I mean, all these things, we have done it in that manner. You can, all these books, what we have prepared, you can download PDF file free, okay? Or if you want to buy it, it's a very, very reduced, deeply discounted price. We have an elementary level, there are 6 books, which is 5 to 9 years old. Middle school, 10 to 12 years, 3 books we prepared. High school is 1 book, and college level is 1 book. And then we combine all this material into 1 book, and we call it Jain Academic Ball Manuals. So that one is 1 book. Now here is the level 1 book, Jain activity books, and you can just see little bit flavor of it, the cover page, what is inside. But everything what we have published has a proper meaning. Okay, the meaning, so that's the one it happens. Now here is the level 2, a level 1 book, 102, which is the prepared by Parinda Shah of Chicago, Pathshala student first, then the teacher, young teacher, and now she is a doctor. Okay, but she must have spent about 400 hours just to prepare this book during the summertime, and the whole summer she really worked. Such a dedicated, students know what we have. Go next one. Yeah, okay, Jain alphabet book, A for Ahimsa and H for help and all other things, and give you the proper description. This is not for the students, but for the teacher, and they can explain properly to the students. All right, so that's the A to Z. All these alphabets, is working over there. Moral skit. This is the another book, which is a sketch, and these children are playing in the classroom. This couple of page skit, which gives you moral values, how to live in that age morally. Okay, next one. Now you look into it. Here is the one that Pratiksha prepared it when she joined about 4 years ago, Jaina Education Committee, and she prepared the being a Jain 24/7. It's 24/7. You don't need to be Jain just when you go to the temple or when you go to the Upasra or when you go for any Jain program. 24/7. How do you live Jain way of life 24/7? Give you the complete book for that, and then the Pathshala. Or then the exercise book, having you keeping track of it. What are you doing as a Jain 24/7? So I'm just briefly overviewing this one. Level 2 book, which is that age 10 to 12 years age, Jain storybooks. We collected like 40 stories, all types of story, beginning, old, new, every type morally. And these stories are not only just we write the stories, but at the end, we make sure the story, whatever the message are going to be conveyed, it is already written, that message at the end. And all the stories, you will see it very colorful, beautiful. The person who prepared the whole layout of the stories and everything is the Sudhir Bhai Shah and Anita Ben Parekh. They did a tremendous amount of work by layout. They are very talented people. Okay, and if you really look into it, this kind of the books, all right, and we are selling for $5-6 type. No, these particular books at this age, and it's like 150, 160 page books. All these things are available hard copy, in this manner. Okay. Next one. Oh, okay. The other book is the first step of the Jainism. That is also there in the layout by Sudhir Bhai and Anita Ben. Okay. And look at it, this one, the whole pyramid, they got like, all are vegan, everything. And now we got the new food pyramids. Okay. And this become really popular every places. Next. Okay, the level 2 books, the one you see, this one, it is exercise books. Okay. And people get all the games and everything's learning out. Now we come to the level 3 books, which is the high school book. The first time we are really introducing real philosophy. Level 1 and 2, they are very young children. And for them, they have, the main theme is how to become a good moral citizen in this country, and how you can live that way, how you can help others. The more important aspect is non-violence and compassion. The level 1 and level 2, we are giving that things. Let's continue. That's the level 4 book, which is the college level. And significant people are using these books, even in India, okay, and other places. So you can see all the prepared, none of us have any academic degree in Jainism to prepare all these things, okay? Not that one, we prepare everything by learning, and we make sure Jain basic principles are not being violated. Okay, based on another country, another environment, we continue it. On a reference books, if you notice, this is the Jainism book. It's just a brief introduction to Jainism. These books have been distributed by many temples in America. If anybody visitors comes in the temple, if they want anything to know about Jainism, they give these books. And somebody made that book into Gujarati translation, and we published that one. Okay, so there is a Hindi is in work in progress. Essence of World Religion. This particular book I published in 1993, the second Parliament of World Religion. And then we continue to publish this Essence of World Religion. We sold 28,000 books. Of course, we sell only one book, $1 a book, okay? But 28,000 books have been sold to all the interfaith type groups and people. But you must read these things just to get the overview of the various world major faiths. Continue. Next one. The thing is a book of compassion. Okay, Pramoda and Chitra Bhanuji and myself, we combined various articles and we put that things into this book. Many people by reading these books and articles, they become vegan. I visited 95 dairy farms. My daughter our children were earlier vegan than when we changed ourselves. I'm talking about education committee people. Education committees, the members, they become vegan, not because they want to become a member of JAINA Education Committee. Okay, it is their children saying that you should be ashamed of yourself if you are drinking milk. And that's, I'm talking about 95, 98, year 2000 time period. Another ritual books, we made it, and the Jain Sutra books. All the sutras are their English transliterations, and then meaning stanza by stanza, all the sutras of Vyapratikraman sutras. Okay, we added also Stanakvasis and all whichever popular sutras we find our hands, and we put it that one so that our children can have that things. So what I want you to make sure you understand, this is another book, is how to become Jain in college, in the college environment. These are all done by the youths who are practicing Jainism in this country. They are the one who is compiled on it. And again, one more thing is the Ashtapad book. So if you notice it here, this is the complete set of the education books, very simple English, and our children learning these things significantly in this by using these books. Okay, just keep continue. Pathshala book distribution system. I would like to tell you, you can find in America, the volunteerism is unbelievable. The Jain Center of Los Angeles ex-president, Virendra Bhai Shah, he tells me that he would like to take care of the complete distribution system of every part, all the Pathshala books to all 4,500 students. And he's been doing it since around 2011, 2012, continuously for last 11, 12 years. All the books, we ship them, and
Praveen
he
bhai,
distributes the whole system.
Virendra bhai is on the call as well.
Sure, just a minute,
Yeah.
okay. And then Manu Bhai Shah, who told me, okay, please ship, I will bring all the books to Los Angeles and given to Virendra Bhai. So you can find every kind of the volunteerism that we don't spend any money, and they very dedicated the things. We thank both of them and other people who are working with them to do that one. I think my time is up, and I'm very thankful to everybody just to have listening to me about the Pathshala books. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Praveen uncle. I think Rajesh was saying that Virendra Bhai Shah is available with us on this call.
Sure.
So definitely, Virendra Bhai, if you would like to say a few words, please turn on your video and unmute yourself.
Jai Janendra, my name is Virendra Shah and I'm from Los Angeles area. And to tell you, it's my privilege that I get to associate with a committee like this. First of all, my thanks to Harish Bhai, our JAINA president particularly, who has been instrumental in showcasing the different committees work. This is, I believe this is happening first time that the JAINA has taken this time and giving an opportunity and platform to showcase what different committee does, because randomly we just read those names in one of these JAINA publication, either the emails that there are so many committees, but hardly ever 99.9% people know what goes on, in those committees. So Thanks a lot. And Pratiksha, very wonderfully she explained in the beginning all the different activities which is being done under the JAINA Education Committee. So very well said, all those things. And as I said, my role is very small role in the whole picture. I am in a business, so I have a very big warehouse. You could say 50,000 square feet warehouse here in Los Angeles. And what I'm doing, I'm just using my resources, because whatever I do in day-to-day my business, I'm just doing that for the Pathshala purpose. So I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary. But actually, Praveen Bhai was a little wrong. This book distribution started since 1997. When he came here, he did the teachers conference here in the Los Angeles. At that time, I had the privilege of being the president of the Jain Center of Southern California here in Los Angeles. And he gave a challenge. I can prepare all the books, we can get all the books prepared, but how do we bring this book? And most people may not be aware of that the first books of the Jain Education Committee were published in Korea, one of the best, the printing facility in the world. Which wonderfully, and at the time we imported a 20-feet container. If you are aware of it, a 20-feet container could be as many as 25,000 plus books. So where to keep these 25,000 books and how to manage them and how to do this. Fortunately, I have my brother-in-law who helps me every day in the business, as well as I have a staff of 5-6 people here in Los Angeles who help us. So we ship every single day, maybe hundreds and hundreds of packages all over USA in our course of our business. So along with that, if I'm shipping few boxes or a few cartons for the Jain Education Committee, it's not an additional burden. So yes, but the biggest thing is that how to bring it. So it's a pure logistic issue. How to bring these books from India, initially from Korea, afterwards from India, because Korea has now become much expensive, and because of the development of the technology, there is not that much of manual labor left in Korea. So the remaining book, the supplementary book, initial book we have published, but now we don't need 25,000 books at one time. We need maybe 500 of that book and 1,000 of this book, and so on and so forth. So Praveen Bhai has arranged all the printing of those books in India. But the challenge is books from India, particularly if they are coming, either you bring it by air freight or you bring it by sea, pallet load, we call, and those are expensive. Those are not very easy. So we had needed to find a resource, and Manubhai being my friend, and he's one of the biggest importer of granite here in USA. He offered his services that, hey, since granite cannot fill up the whole container, there's enough room in there. We can just put your books on the top of that granite, and when they come in here, you just pick it up at my warehouse. So since that, we print all these books in Ahmedabad now, and then we transport it to Kandla. And from Kandla port, they are put it in one of his container, and then they are brought up here in Los Angeles. And he charges only the money which he actually spends on, because there is a port taxes and all that taxes. Otherwise, it's a non-profit basis he had been helping us through. Initially, we were used to ask. Now he has given us a blanket permission. Anytime we have connection with his staff. So anytime we have books, we can just ask his staff over there in India to handle it, and they come. So everything is very easily smooth out. And we had been doing that since that time. And to tell you the truth, is privileged to work with Praveen Bhai. The biggest thing what I found about working with the Praveen Bhai, that he's not in here for the glory. He gives the credit, and he gives the responsibility, and he gives an opportunity to whatever way you could help us. And that was one of the best thing he could do. Without, oftentimes you see in a lot of different committee are not in this JAINA organization, but outside. People take up the post for their own glorification, or own titles and things like that. And he has done this without any things. He identifies the task, and then he circulates that task, and people voluntarily has been coming forward to do that. Recently, we had an opportunity to, since a lot of people here in USA have access book, particularly in Hindi and Gujarati, and they don't know what to do because the new generation obviously is more familiar with the English. They may not be using those Gujarati or a Hindi book, or maybe even some of the English books. So what to do with those books? So Praveen Bhai and his committee came up with the idea that why don't we make those available to the entire Jain population here in USA, as well as the educational, particularly the universities and things like that, whatever we can make them offer. If we have all those books at one place. So he started the drive to recycle and recirculate the books. And luckily we end up collecting as many as 20,000 plus books. So all these are logistics, as I said. Sometimes you might wonder where to store these 50,000 plus books there. But as I said, God has given me the opportunity to have these resources. And what I'm doing is just using my own resources to do all this work. And I feel lucky that I am associated with it, and I'm had an opportunity to help any which way I can, but I am benefiting more than anybody else, to tell you the truth. Thanks a lot. If anybody have a question, I will be happy to answer at the end of the session or whenever you would like me to. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Virendra Bhai. You are absolutely right. We all feel so privileged to be working with Praveen Uncle. It is absolutely a pleasure. But what you are doing is so amazing. And really, I got to know a little bit more about it today. I've heard a lot from Praveen Uncle, but the details that I got to learn from you today, because of you, all this 4,500 students are able to gain that knowledge. And as JAINA Education Committee, and Praveen Uncle's motto is the one quote that we always refer to, Padmam Nanam Tavodaya. That means first knowledge and then conduct. So you are truly doing an amazing work. So hats off to you, and our sincere appreciation to you. And I also want to mention that this JAINA Education Committee is one of a kind committee where you will find volunteers from India, from Ahmedabad, and also from US, all over the different states. So it's amazing to be a part of this committee, and it's amazing to work with all other individuals as well. So now moving on, after education, that initial knowledge, the students, they are always excited to test their knowledge. And there comes JAB, Jain Academic Bowl. It's a quiz competition. Some of you might have already witnessed it during JAINA conventions. And to give more information on that, I would like to invite Shwetaben Daftari, who is the chairperson of Jain Academic Bowl. Over to you, Shwetaben.
Thank you, Sejalben. Jai Jinendra, everyone. My name is Shweta Daftari. From Dallas, Texas, and I am the chairperson for the Jain Academic Bowl Committee. So just like Sejalben said, yes, after all the vast knowledge that has been beautifully written in all the Pathshala books taught to the students, we now try to have a little test in a fun way, and that's where the Jain Academic Bowl comes in play. This is popularly known as JAB. So let me share my screen. Okay. So before we go a little deeper into the what Jain Academic Bowl or JAB is, let's just give you a little flavor of what JAB questions look like? So I'm going to just give you a little bit of a sample test here. I'll let y'all self-assess, give y'all 5 seconds and see how you fare. So here comes question 1. Name all the tattvas that are also named, name all the bhavana that are also named as tattva. The answer is Samvar Bhavana, Nirjara Bhavana, and Ashraf Bhavana. Question 2. Name any 2 Gunavrat and give their meaning. Answer is Deg or Disha Pariman Vrat, Bhog Upabhog Pariman Vrat, Anartha Dand Virman Vrat. Question 3. This is a math question. Subtract the total number of Gupti from the total number of Samiti. Name the corresponding dream of Queen Trishla. The answer is the second dream of Queen Trishla, which is elephant. So you arrive this by subtracting 3 Gupti from 5 Samiti. The answer is 2, and the second dream is elephant. Hopefully that was a fun question. Next question. What has Acharya Kund Kund been called out of respect? Answer is light of this dark age. Next question. How many years did Mahavir Swami spend as a monk before achieving Nirvana? Answer is
12 years.
42 years.
40.
It is the years between Diksha and Nirvana. So the answer is 42 years. So these were just a few of the sample questions. Hope you all did well, had fun, but this is what JAB is mainly consisted of, the questions and many, many more like this. So let's dig a little deeper into what is JAB. Some of y'all might have known, as y'all might have seen it or participated, but those of you who are new to this, JAB or Jain Academic Bowl is a Jeopardy style educational game based on Jaina Pathshala education books. So this was initially kind of started as just a very novice idea around 1993. It has since been played. It has since evolved, improvised. We've changed it for betterment of our Pathshala students. It has been conducted every 2 years during the Jaina convention. So JAB tournament every 2 years at Jaina convention, and we have changed it gradually as we have come through all these years. So now, who can participate in JAB? Generally, it's the Pathshala students across North America who would form a team to participate in the tournament. The team consists of 8 students maximum, out of which 5 can play during a game. And generally there is 1 coach per team. So each team of 5 would compete during a game. There are 3 categories in this JAB tournament. We have just recently added this beginner category, which is our new category. It consists of students up to the age of 12 years old and who are also new to JAB. The next category is the junior category with students up to 14 years of age. And also we have a senior category up to the age of 21 years old. So we have 3 categories for students to participate in with their team. Now, how is this game or how is the tournament played? So JAB generally has about 3 game rounds, as we call it. Round 1, or the individual team round, has 10 questions for each team. So we will have 10 questions for team 1 and 10 questions for team 2, which is the competing team. The round 2 is also called as category round. It has 15 questions total. And round 3 is called the grab bag round, which also has 15 questions. Round 2 and round 3 are typically the buzzer rounds, as we call it, because the participants buzz in to answer the question. So whoever gets it first will go ahead and answer that. Each team usually competes in about 3 to 4 playoff rounds based on the number of points that the team scores, they can then advance to the semifinal and then the finals. So what are the learning tools involved here? Now, of course, the number one is the Pachala teachers who are their dedicated coaches. Without that, it's like, they really help out the participants to be prepared for JAB tournament. So this is the number one thing that we are really thankful to the teachers who are the coaches for the teams. That's important. Now, the material for JAB matches, it's usually from JAB manual. And JAB manual is basically, it consists of all the educational material from JAINA Education Series Pachala books. It's compiled in this one book, is also called as the Compendium of Jainism, which is the JES 904. We call it as the JAB manual. So participants can study from this manual. All the questions, answers, material are strictly from this manual. So it becomes real easy to prepare for the tournament as you do this. Based on the team category, whether you're beginner, junior, senior, the material curriculum is divided amongst the junior and senior accordingly, team categories. So how does JAB help? In order to understand, let's first go over the mission of Jain Academic Bowl, which is to create a unique experience for the youth of our Jain centers across North America by bringing them together in a fun, educational game-style format, whereby it allows them to increase their knowledge of Jainism and provide them an opportunity to forge new friendships with Pachala students nationwide. So in short, JAB helps them, of course, to learn about Jain religion, but in a fun way. So as they're learning in Pachala, they learn more as they prepare for the tournament, and they really enjoy that. They also make new friends as they're competing at the tournament during the JAINA convention, which goes a long way too. And of course, there's a lot of excitement during the tournament. So those are really the benefits of participating in the JAB tournament, as you would ask most of the participants who've done that in the past. Just to give you a few highlights about our the last JAB tournament, which was JAB 2021 during the last convention. Here are a few highlights. We had 11 Pachala centers that participated from throughout the North America. We had 4 centers that were participating for the first time represented in the beginners category. We also had international centers. This was a unique JAB tournament because just like the entire JAINA convention, it was virtual. This was a pretty big challenge for the JAB team. We were not sure how we would do this, but the entire JAB admin team took this upon and did it really well. And we actually had a much bigger tournament by having participants like the international centers. We had 4 countries represented for the first time from the UK, Kenya, India, and Canada. So we had 2 centers from India, like the Mumbai and Calcutta, and we also had multiple teams from Kenya and UK. So that was really exciting. It was very fun to have JAB be taken globally. We had a total of 220 participants, coached by about 40 coaches. We played a total of 68 games throughout the tournament, which totaled up to 105 game hours. So that was a lot. But this was all with the help of 6 admin members. So we had 6 JAB admin members along with the 12 youth moderators that helped us out. So that's a little bit of a highlight of the past JAP 2021 tournament. We want to take up even more challenges for the upcoming one and hopefully have more centers participate during them. Well, how do we do this now? It's really from the dedication by all the JAP committee members. And our committee consists of, along with myself, we have Pravin Paisha, who's always there to help and mentor us, Megha Doshi, Harshbhai Shroff, and Rajbhai Salecha. We also have youth committee members, which consists of Deshna Doshi, sorry for that misspelling, Varin Shroff, and Arshita Jain. They help out with the beginners, team moderators, and throughout the admin process. So they have been very, very, very helpful in making JAP successful all throughout each and every year. Now, if this has made you really excited, and if you are ready to participate or even view at the next JAINA convention for the JAP tournament, we would love to have you there. If you want to participate, need more information, you can visit at dab.jainelibrary.org. You can always email me with any questions that you may have at shweta.daftari@jaina.org. Any of the committee members, if you know, you can always ask them and they would more than love to help you out. So thank you for listening, and hopefully this gets excited to any new centers that want to participate during the upcoming JAP tournament. Thank you so much, Jinendra.
Thank you, Shwetaban. This was wonderful. I can definitely say on a personal note, I witnessed the JAP competition last year since it was virtual, and I was completely blown away by those students, by Parshara students and their intelligence and the knowledge that they had. It was amazing, amazing. And you guys, the entire JAP team, hats off to you. You guys are doing an amazing job. So definitely, if you are attending JAINA convention next year, definitely make an effort, make that time and visit at least one tournament, and you might want to come back again for other rounds as well. Thank you, Shwetaban. Thank you very much. Now, we are going to move on to our next category, and that is educational resources. So now after you gain some knowledge, initial knowledge, you might want to dig deep and get some more knowledge. And where do you go? Where do you find the Agams or some other resources, Saman Suttam book? You don't have to worry. That is all available just at your fingertips through Jain e-Library, a Gnan Bhandar, where you can find a wealth of information. And I'm going to pass it on to Raj Salecha and Shruti Doshi, and they are going to talk about the history, the objective, the purpose, the future goals of Jain e-Library. So over to you, Shruti and Raj.
Thank you, Sejal. Jai Jinendra, everyone, and very happy to be here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, as we know that many of you are joining in from many different places around the world. Very excited to provide you an overview of Jain e-Library. This is one of the oldest projects that's been led by Pravin Uncle for many, many years with support of JAINA Education Committee and many other volunteers who have come in the past and continue to support this work. This is also one of the oldest projects that has provided great impact to many hundreds and thousands of people across the globe, and supported JAINA education and provided education to the Jain community for decades to come. So let me tell you a little bit more about what is Jain e-Library. Jain e-Library is an online portal of a digital library that provides free access to vast ancient as well as modern literature on Jainism. For the first time in history, all the significant philosophical, spiritual, literary, artistic, and scientific works of Jainism have been digitally preserved and made freely available in every corner of the world on your fingertips. This online library contributes a great deal to further our education as well as provide this legacy of our religion to all the future generations to come. So as you can understand, this is a very unique project. It was initiated by Praveen Uncle and by Jaina Education International Committee 12 years back in 2008, as Harish Bhai had mentioned, as Praveen Uncle has mentioned before as well. This was started in cooperation with Shri Mahavir Aradhana Kendra in Koba, Ahmedabad, and also with collaboration with Shri Prachya Vidyapith in Sajapur, India. So why we started this? Why are we doing this? Some of the shortcomings that we had observed early on was that in Jain literature, all of our existing archives are in physical papers. And that obviously have many shortcomings, like they are only available and accessible to small population of scholars and collectors only in a physical location where these archives are being maintained. So if you are geographically located somewhere else, you just do not have access to it. Many of the works of Jainism are still very rare in existence today. Searching for a specific topic, searching for a specific literature through these resources is very complex and very tedious task, almost impossible. Ancient language like Prakrit and Ardhamargi are almost lost. Literature are not almost available in this language. The knowledge seekers around the world, around the globe, from Jain community or scholars and academicians who need access to this have no easy way of finding literature like this. At the same time, we always had that fear that a single wanton act of destruction can destroy an entire line of heritage if we did not make it digital in today's world. On top of that, we did not have any easy search capabilities. So all of this combined together made this initiative come into existence. The main goal for this initiative was to protect and preserve ancient Jain literature, scripture, and have it available electronically in ebooks or in a PDF format, easily downloadable for many on their fingertips. Whoever needed access to this, it was available to them. It was no longer just available to scholars and only the knowledge seekers. If you, as a layman, want to go on eLibrary, look for Agam, look for any other specific Jain literature, ancient as it may be, you have it available to you. The website provides wealth of knowledge to the readers on their fingertips and with enhanced and advanced search capabilities on top of that, which Raj will provide a quick demo to later in the presentation. This unique online portal also allows all modern and contemporary prominent valuable literature and artifacts to be stored and available in one place. This is what has served large Jain community across the globe today. We also want to mention that this e-library is an online collection of many manuscripts, dictionary, encyclopedias, various different articles and magazines. It collects contemporary Jain books in English, Hindi, Gujarati, and many, many other languages. It contains all the literature from various different sects, like Svetambara Gambar, Digambar Shastras, 4 Anu Yogas, commentary literature, Prakrit and Sanskrit literature, and many, many other catalogs or Jain manuscripts are available in the library. It's a wide, very diverse collection. The e-library comprises of many topics and literature on many topics such as ahimsa, compassion, karma philosophy, anekantvad, you name it, and you'll find various different collection on it. As you can see here on this slide, we are just showcasing some of the numbers of how many books we have available. As you can see, we have about 32,000+ different various artifacts, collection of books, articles, magazines available on eLibrary for you guys to access and easily download it. Here are quick stats just for your reference in terms of what a wide reach this Jain eLibrary has had across the globe. We have about 80,000+ registered users coming in from 200+ different countries across the globe, reviewing, downloading thousands of books every day. Behind the scene, we have lakhs of thousands of pages being uploaded into eLibrary behind the scene every day. And there is a very well-oiled, efficient process happening behind the scene in India. We want to thank all the volunteers who've been supporting this work and making it so seamless. Total visitors that we've observed to the e-library so far have been 2.7 million, 27 plus lakhs. So you can see what an amazing impact it has had on our Jain community. While the readers discover the richness and spirituality of our Jain ancient literature, we also are helping authors, publishers, Pathshala teachers, and are continuously reaching new audience. All these books and other literatures are published on the website with obtained permission of authors and publishers for individual, private, and non-commercial use only. These are all freely available, freely accessible educational resources with the permission of the authors who have written them. Lastly, before I pass on to Raj for the demo, we would like to give our biggest thanks to all the volunteers in the past, in the current, and ongoing who've been providing the support, the dedicated support behind the scene in building this website, maintaining this website, as well as many other projects that comes through this e-library, making this wealth of information, books, and material available to all of us. Thank you so much. Jai Janendra, and over to you, Raj, for providing information about the e-library site itself.
Okay, thank you, Shruti. Jai Jinendra. My name is Raj Salecha. I'm based in Los Angeles here, and been trying to help Praveen Bhai with the things or the skills that I have. So just learning on the way. So coming back to this topic of JAINA Library, it has been our forefront of all the task activities that we have been doing, all the projects that you hear about today, eventually or indirectly were supported, helped, or researched through this website. So as Shruti already explained, right, the why we need to have this, how we got it, and everything. Now, just making a website, searchable website is not enough, right? You need to make sure it reaches to people who are looking for different ways of literature, how to get the different types of literature and things. So our library, as I will show you in the next demo here, how it works is you can search by title, author, publisher, if you have looking for specific keywords, or if you're searching for specific language or something. You can also look for specific categorized items if you're only looking for agams, or if you're looking for certain specific philosophy or only stories. We also have been adding a lot of things ongoing basis. So it's all over here. As of today, I understand we have our 26 languages, the books that we carry, right? So prominently, yes, English, Hindi, Gujarati, Sanskrit, Prakrit, but we also have it in a lot of Indian languages, Marathi, Punjabi, Telugu, Tamil, Bengali, and some more. And then as well as the international languages, including Italian, Portuguese, Spanish, French, and some more that I I don't know yet. So yes, we have a lot. So let me take you a little bit of feature-based things what we have on our website. I'm gonna share my screen again. Okay. I had some issue sharing my screen earlier, so just in case. So this is a website, simple, jainilibrary.org. You can just put that in the browser. It should really come up fast. This is our standard homepage. You'll see a lot of information on left, right, top, bottom, but basically everything is derived based on this text box in the center. What you normally do is search for certain things. and then you define you search by things that you're looking for. If you write someone's name here and then it's by author, you click on search by author, all the books written by that author will show up. Right? Same goes for category, title, or if you have certain keywords, or even if you don't know anything, like, okay, is it an author or is it a name, you can type stuff and then it will show up. So let me take you an example with Samay Sar. So one of the prominent literature that we have in Jainism, I'll just type that in and press enter. What I get next is the list of all the books that has either Samaisar in the title or in author or in publisher or in some in any other places. So, and all languages. So Hindi, Gujarati, and English, everything. Also any terms that may have stories about it or tika or commentaries about it, you will all get to see it in the same place. So this is this page 2 where you search for the result, and then on the right here you see all those PDF and Word icons. The first one is TOC, table of content, in Word format, in case you just want to look at what is the content of the book, how many pages the book has. It's mentioned here. And if you want to go ahead and still download a file, you click on the standard, and then there is an HR. Most of time we have the same file here, but in case the files are a lot bigger or because there are too many pages, then we have a shorter compressed file for people with a less bandwidth. So let me take this one. So on the page 3, what you get is details about the book. This will give all the information that we have captured at the time of uploading the book. It will tell you what language it is in, what script it is in, who's the author and publisher, and what year it was published. The simple thing next is to click on this PDF icon. You go ahead and then you need to log into it. I was already logged in, and that's why it just showed up for me to download. Uh, the sole purpose of login is just to avoid the misuse. There is no charges, there's no other purpose here. It's just to make sure that the website is available to all the people across the globe, and then at the same time make sure that the resources are not misused. So that has been basically what we have on the homepage about the search thing. However, you also heard about Praveen be explaining all this Pathshala books and everything, right? So all those books, yes, they are physically provided, shipped to all the kids, all the students in US and across. But all of those same books are available for you to download free of cost right here. If you want a soft copy of any of that book, it's available for all of you on this JAINA education book, Pathshala book. We have a link here. All the presentation that we have that are around Rohin-based workshop or around the education articles that we have been written by JAINA, they are all here. So you can click on this thing, get it, and you can download it. And everything is open for downloads for everyone. In case you still want to buy the physical books and everything, this is the place to come. So you heard about how we ship and everything. This is the place where you order it and then we just ship it to them. So we have also categorized the books in different languages here. Literature books and then there is a interfaith books, ritual books. We have a lot of those dictionaries that we were talking about, Smriti Grunts. Then we have specific Agam search, which you'll hear later with Kailash Bhai. With I think, yeah, he's here. And then a lot of magazines that we have captured. All these magazines are kind of historical magazines, not the one that are currently in circulation. This very good ones, and I would request if you get a chance to go through them. A lot of good people wrote a lot of good articles in old and past times. We were fortunate enough to get hold of that and then scan it and put it online here. I don't know if Praveen mentioned, but even today, we scan approximate 20 to 30,000 pages of books on a monthly basis. So in case you want to like to see, right, what have been we doing in last 60 days, 30 days, we have this button here called latest uploaded books. Click on it and you'll see all the books or articles that we have been uploading on a monthly basis. So you'll see that the work is happening and continuing and growing day by day, and we are happy to add as more and more things come. However, if you are searching for a certain book and if you don't find one here and you think it should be here, please let us know. We have this on the top menu option, new book request page. Click on it, provide us the details. If we are able to find it, if it is available within our resources, we will find it, scan it, and upload it here. In other scenario, if you have a certain book that is not on JAINA library and you would like us to upload it, send us. There is another form called request to upload a new book. Come here, please provide us the details, attach the PDF file, and give us the information. We will in the committee, it will be sent for reviewing purpose, so that it's our regular process just to review before we upload. Sorry. So couple of all the things that you see here, please visit them. Try to see how we can provide you more information and more things to come. In case you have any suggestions, comments, we have a feedback form here. Please feel free to use it. We would go through it and we would respond based on what you are looking for. You're always welcome to send us an email, or you can reach out to all our committee members that are on this call. We have this page here. We have all our committee members' name, email IDs, and everything. So that's the one place where you will always find it. Other than the respective websites that we have for different presentation that we are showing. So we had for blog, we had for Quantum. So all of those websites, we also have a link directly from here for Agam search, which Kailash, you would be explaining. For Quantum, we have a link here. For Jane blog also, I think it was. I'll have to put that in a more prominent way so that it's available at the top. Jab also, we have a link here. So it's a one-stop place. We have tried to keep up with the new stuff, new technology, things that are available with us. And it's all, again, as volunteer run basis. So thank you, Praveen Bhai, for taking in us as volunteer, because even if as a volunteer, you still need a direction by someone to run it properly. So thank you. And if you have question, I'm on the chat here, and we'll proceed to the next one. Thank you very much. Jai Jinendra.
Thank you, Rajesh, and thank you, Shruti. That was wonderful. I will definitely say that if you have not used this website, do definitely go try it once, and you will bookmark this website. That is my go-to website. Whenever I need some information, I always find it. So thank you for the work that Shruti, you and Rajesh are putting behind this JAINA library, and it is wonderful work. So now moving on, the next JAINA Quantum. Again, an amazing way to find any information you need within this JAINA library, again at your fingertips. And it was done completely by Anish Visaria, our youth. So I'm going to pass it on to Anish to take us through the journey of JAINA Quantum. Over to you, Anish.
Jai Jinendra, everyone. So as you heard, I'm going to be talking about JAINA Quantum, which is basically a searchable, like a search engine over the e-library that you already saw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first talk about the features, and then I'm going to go into a demo of the website. So the main, it was launched in August 2020, where basically I had an idea that we have all these books that are uploaded on the e-library. But what if you want to search within the page text of those books, of those like PDF files? Sometimes it's very difficult to search within the PDF files because it's like it's scanned text. So you can't like copy paste the text. You can't search over the text. You can only you can basically just go and you have to read it by like manually. So the point of Jane Quantum is that you can search within the books with even within image-based like scanned scanned PDF files. So some of the main features we have is you can search in any language, and you can type any language in the search bar, and it should be able to pick up the text that's within the book. And we do try to keep up to date with the eLibrary catalog, including all the new books that are uploaded every month. And I'm also going to go into the main technology that's used is the OCR technology, which is basically extracting the text out of the PDF files so we can actually like search over them. So I can go into a demo now. Basically what Jane Quantum is it's a website, janeqq.org. And it looks like Google, right? So it's just a search bar. But let's say you type in anything here, Mavrasamy. So what you see down here is you get the catalog results. So those are like the actual books, like the files. And then we get there's some pages that have Mahavir or Swami or Mahavir Swami both within the pages. And we can see we have about 700 like pages that have those words in them. So let's say we click on one result. We get the page preview, so you can quickly glance at what's inside the page. So you can quickly zoom in and see what's inside the page. And you can read it also. And then once you identify that the page is exactly what you're looking for, you can even copy the page text that you want. Like maybe you can copy like one sentence that you need for your own purposes. Or you can download the file, which brings you back to the eLibrary site, so you can download as shown in the prior example. And another feature we have is the reader mode, so you can quickly go through the book. Like let's say you want to find something on the last page, so right here, or let's say on the first page, then you can quickly just scroll through the book. Then we also have a search within the book functionality, which we're going to be improving also. But it works in a basic way, so it should be able to find within the book like page 1, page 2. Another feature that we have is so let's say you want to search for like a question or a concept, karma, like for example. And let's say you get page results about karma. So this sutra, or maybe like a Science of Karma book, or any other book. But let's say you want to search, you want to search about karma in another language, so not just English. Then you can use the search transliterations button. So it's right here, search transliterations. And you can see now that it found 51,000 results. And the reason why that's happening is that this is going to search for karma in every other language, that is not just English. So it will search for the transliteration of karma in Gujarati, Hindi. So for example, this page, this is obviously not English text. This is Gujarati, but it found karma within this page. So if we click on this, we can see that there's karma, and you can view the romanization if you want. So let's say we also want to search in Gujarati now. We can find the exact Gujarati text within pages also. And we can also do a search transliteration the other way around also. So from Gujarati to English or to any other language. So I typed in Gujarati, but now it's bringing in English results and other results. So even Hindi, Devanagari script, and every other language. And yeah, that's the main features of the website. And then we have the browse functionality. You can view the full catalog. And that is the main functionality of the website. And then from the JAINA library site directly, you can also use the search by quantum button. So let's say you're searching for someone Suttam, then search by quantum. It would bring up all the results if you want to search within pages or the catalog. So that's like just an overview of the main features. And we'd have gotten a good traction within the past 2 years. We've gotten a lot of page views and users using it. And we've also indexed some content on Google also, so people can come from Google to the website as well. And we can see that the main users of the it's just interesting to see like where people are using the website from, including JAINA library. So obviously India will be #1, US, UK, Canada, Nepal, Australia, Germany, UAE, Japan, and Singapore. So those are the top 10 countries that are using JAIN Quantum, and most likely JAINA library as well. And that's just what JAIN Quantum is in a nutshell. And we do hope you use like all these features and all these different techniques to search over any material that you want. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anish. You have done such a significant work, and I agree with the comment that I see from Dimple. Yes, it is amazing. I can say that I teach Pashara, and one time I had given some work. Kids had to write something on Anikantwad, and one kid, he just went on to JainQQ and he found some information and he was just giving it out to me. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. How did you get this? And he was like, oh, Auntie, JainQQ. I use JainQQ. So it's very well known for teachers and scholars. And I know that scholars from India, they also use this. This is very handy to find any information on Jain religion. Now moving on to our next, again in this educational resources, do you ever wonder, like, what if I want to find a specific sutra from a specific agam? How hard would it be if we didn't have this, the next presentation that is on searchable agams? Now you can find that information, again, a few clicks away. You can find any agam, any sutra from any of these agams right on your screen. And this amazing task was undertaken by Kailashji Mutta. So I'm going to pass it on to Kailashji for his presentation on searchable agams and Unicode conversion project. So over to you, Kailashji.
Kailash, you're on mute.
Okay. Jai Jinendra, everyone. I'm Kailash Mutha, and I'll be talking about Unicode conversion, searchable agams, and the Unicode project. You can hear me, right?
You can go in slideshow mode if you like.
Yeah. So, okay. So, so before I get into the slides, let me just give some background. What is Unicode? Unicode is a computer lingo to represent the character of each of the language that we have, not just English, Spanish, but a specific assignment to all the Indian characters for every language. So Unicode is a computer specification that allows the text content to be shared between different applications, allows you to search. All of that is all possible because of Unicode. Without Unicode, you can hardly do anything with anything you type other than printing and displaying. You cannot do anything with any material that's not Unicode compliant. So that's where Unicode comes in. And then just while I'm talking about the Unicode, PDF also presents a very critical challenge to Indian languages. And the reason for it is PDF evolved from printing. And so when you print from left to right, like when you type in print small key, so it's this E ki matra, choti E ki matra, and then the ka. So the order is not correct. So all of that is non-compliant to Unicode. So when you type in Hindi or any of the Indian languages and you try to search in a PDF, even with the modern day technologies, it doesn't work. So there are a lot of technical challenges to work with, just as a background. Now, as a background on the project itself, Praveen Uncle-ji recognized the importance of the Unicode almost 10, 12 years ago. And he has been working on Unicode scriptures so that they can be used for other purposes as the technology evolved. So he had been already collecting the Agam books. He has been requesting Unicode's compliant scriptures. So he had already vision in this background, and things just brought us together in the early 2020, where I mentioned, we can take this and we can load the database very quickly and make it available. And that's where we started the searchable Agams. And here, when we talk about searchable Agams, we are using Agam in a broader sense where Agam means Jainvani. So it's all the Jain scriptures. We want to make it searchable, but this is verified searchable, meaning all of this material has been verified, and that's what we are trying to make it available. And before I get into this, the specific, I want to thank Praveen Uncle-ji to help me with this platform. This gave me an opportunity to work with the India team, Saket-ji and his team, Sudesh-ji and his team. And also I want to thank Anish-ji to pointing me to the right OCR stuff whenever I needed any help. So I would like to definitely thank him for that as well. So next slide. So in the searchable Agams, we have about 45, all the 45 Shwetambar Agams, which is about 15,000 original sutras. And then we have their translation in Hindi and Gujarati. So that totally brings us to about 33,000 sutras total. And we had the content verified. Acharya-ji's helped us out, both Deepratna Sagar-ji, Maharaj Sahib, and Ajay Sagar Suri-ji, Maharaj Sahib. They helped us to verify the content. I spent extensive hours trying to compare with the original source so that any of my process did not introduce any errors. Then we also went through the Saman Suttam, where we have the Mool Sutras in Prakrit and Sanskrit, and then the translation in English, Hindi, and Gujarati. And then we also have the Jain Dharamsar, which is the precursor to Saman Suttam, which is available in both Prakrit and Hindi, which we also made it available as part of the searchable Agams. We want to add additional scriptures to it. And one of the areas I'm looking into is all the Paramagams, particularly the Samaysar, Pravachansar, Niyamsar, and some of the other crucial scriptures that are core to Jain philosophy. So that gives you what is the content that's available in the searchable Agam database. Going on, this again is more details around the scriptures. And then coming to the Unicode conversion project. So we have about 32,000 books in the JAINA library, and most of the books are either in the scanned material or people have typed the material using non-Unicode, and each provides their own challenge. So when we take a scanned material, depending upon how the quality of the material is, the final Unicode that we get, the error rate can be high, low, or medium. And so, so that is one of the things we have to deal with it. And then if we are dealing with the typed material, which is in non-Unicode, we get the error rate, which is low, but it takes the initial work to convert it. It takes about a week or two to work with each of the book or each of the font, if you will. So there is a extensive startup work. So there are pros and cons with each of the technologies that we have to work with. So those are the two things. And then one of the things is the idea of converting it to Unicode is to make the material available to generate audiobooks. We can use it to do deeper advanced research. We can try to develop extensive dictionaries, which again will help us to figure out how to better the search engines when we have Sandhi and compound words. So it can help us seed other future projects. So that's the whole idea there. So going on to the next slide, where we are right now, with the OCR, where we have the scanned material, we have covered all the, we have scanned all the books as of July. So all of that material is available in the Word format. And as far as the typed material is concerned, we have gone through 2 iterations and still have to go through another iteration before we will make the material available. So this is still work in progress. So that's what's going on there. I'm going to skip this. I kind of touched on it already. So this is the various scriptures that are available that you can go and list them on the JAINA library website. So it lists you about all the 105 scriptures. And then when you go and search for something, it will display. You can search like here I'm showing the results. When you search for Siam, it will show you all these results on the Agam search. And when you click on the right-hand side, it will give you the page on the left-hand side, which will give you the Mool Sutra, uska Anuvad in Hindi and Gujarati, and then also the transliteration that is available for both the Mool Sutra and the Anuvad as well. And then you can also search with the transliteration also, or you can search it with the original language. So you can search both in English and the original language. And you can get to the beta version of these pages by just going to jainalibrary.org/beta, where the beta version currently allows you to navigate through the scriptures to get a context of what that sutra and what its meaning is all about. So when you go into the detailed page, it allows you to get into contextual understanding of the scriptures. And also, like if you want to look at the OCR version of the book, when you go to the book detail page to download that Rajeshji covered, at the bottom of the page right now, there is a link. When you click on it, it will give you the Unicode book detail page from where you can download the OCR book. Again, this is in a beta form, so the layout will continue to change. And at the bottom of the page, we are looking to collect some feedback so we know how people are using it, so we can give directions on how to evolve this project itself. Again, this is a beta page, so the layout may change over time, but the whole idea is to make the Word documents available to the community and not wait until everything is done, which may take about a year plus to converge further. Thanks, everyone. And again, thanks to Praveen Uncle-ji and the team to allow me to work on this platform. And I benefited quite a bit from this. Thanks, everyone.
Before you proceed, Sejalman, I would like to just point out a couple of things here. I want to highlight the importance of this Unicode project here. A lot of times the Pathshala students or people, when they read certain books or certain statements randomly and then say, okay, what is there to verify it? How can I verify where is it in Agam, right? Agam ma kya lakhelu cha. So now this thing is what it will give the answers to. You can go on this page, you type in certain words, okay, kandmul, or you can say pratikaman, right? Where, what Agam, what sutra, and with the meaning, right, in Hindi or English or Gujarati and English. Also, they have been verified, right? So it's not like we translated it ourselves. It is more on translated and verified by Muni Shri Acharya ji. So thank you very much, Kailash ji, again for doing this. Sorry. Okay.
No, that was fantastic. Thank you, Rajesh, for adding that, providing that additional context. And thank you so much, Kailashji, for this work. And couldn't have said it better. Rajesh already gave a lot of highlight, and Dimple said it in chat as well. Technology in Jainism is mind-blowing, absolutely. And I think this is the era that we live in, and it is critical that we have all of these resources available for all of us. So thank you all. Thank you so much. So far, just to give you an idea of where we are in the program that we have today. So we talked about the Pathshala books and making all of the information available in form of books to our Pathshala students. We talked about all the educational resources that we have that are available online, through e-library, through Quantum, through Searchable Agam. And now we're going to be talking about interactive learning. So as Sejal mentioned earlier, Padmam Gnano Tayodaya, which is first knowledge and understanding, and then conduct. And we believe this interactive learning portion is the portion where it really helps us in understanding and internalizing all the knowledge that we acquire through reading. Because as we are learning, we are going to have lots of questions. We want to have clarification. We want to learn about it from someone. And this is where we get into the interactive learning portion. So we'll start with Jain workshop for adults, and we'll go into different projects that we have within this category. So over to you, Sejal.
Thank you, Pratiksha. Yes, so now you have that knowledge and now you have to put it into use. So that's where interactive learning comes in play. So we are going to begin with Jain Adult Workshop. It's an incredible opportunity to learn Jain fundamentals and clear all your doubts. It's conducted by or moderated by Praveen Uncle, and I'm the coordinator for that. So Praveen Uncle and I live just 20 minutes away. So we are in the same town, Gary and Raleigh, they are neighbors. So, I'm sorry. Okay. So what is the purpose of this Jain Adult Workshop? So Praveen Uncle had a vision to have organized learning environment with structured lesson plans to gain knowledge of the principles of Jainism via interactive learning methods. So, and it's for anyone 16 and above. So at beginning in 2017 through 2019, we had several in-person Jain workshops at several cities around different states. And then COVID hit, and then we switched our workshops to virtual format. So again, these workshops, we have interactive discussions on powerful and thought-provoking topics, and it does provide insightful explanation to some amazing questions. This workshop, they have nudged the attendees to challenge their limiting beliefs and expand their understanding of Jainism by gaining new perspective. All the sessions are conducted in English language, so it's very easy to understand. So these virtual workshops now are held twice a week. So once Wednesday evenings, that's most convenient for North America, and then either Tuesday or Thursday mornings, and that is convenient for India, England, Kenya, and all other countries. So the advantage is that you can take advantage of all the sessions from the comfort of your home. You do not have to go anywhere, and they're completely free. So what are the topics that are included in this workshop? They go from basic to advanced. So you can learn about what is the aim of Jainism, what is soul, what is God, what is karma. Then you can also dig deep into 7 or 9 tattvas and understand about the karma philosophy. You can learn about how you can then apply that Jain karma philosophy in your day-to-day life. And then you can learn about punya and pap karma, the differentiation between punya and pap karma, the relationship between ghati and aghati karma, and how punya karmas can help you attain liberation, or why they are not hindrance to attaining that vitrag state. You can also learn about the role of karma or free will or predestiny in the events that are happening around you. You can learn about the 14 stages of spiritual development. You can learn, like, what is mithyatva? Is really mithyatva hindering my progress spiritually? What are kashais? How I can control those kashais? How can I eliminate mithyatva and kashais? You can also learn about path of liberation. Do you know what is the difference between ordinary Gnan and Samyak Gnan? Answer is Samyak Darshan. So when you come to these workshops, you will learn all of those. What is the correct order of our 3 jewels of Jainism, Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gnan, and Samyak Charitra? Why is that order in that way? So you will learn all those simple, but yes, very, very powerful questions. One of the very popular topic is Jain diet. That presentation, it really, it gives you a holistic approach to spirituality and our basic principle of Jainism, ahimsa. You can also learn about Jain geography, Jain universe, what it was perceived at the time of Mahavir Swami and how it has changed in current times. One other topic that is very popular amongst high school students and college students is world religion. You all already have seen the book in our reference Parshara book section, and it really includes the comparison and similarities between religions from Far East to Middle East to Western religions. And I know that this really helps our youth, our high school students and college students, when they are talking, when they are having that conversation with their friends, and when it comes to religion and faith, they are able to portray the religion of Jainism in a very well way. So now all this workshop, all the sessions, they are recorded, they are uploaded on our YouTube channel. That is Jain Workshop USA, and you can see the QR code on the slide. And if you click on that, it will take you to our YouTube channel directly. All these sessions are labeled individually. They are along with the date and the topic, and that is brief description also given. And then at the end, Praveen Uncle believes in question and answers, because one can learn a lot and one can gain a lot of clarity when we have question and answer session. So we always have question and answer at the end of the lecture of Praveen Uncle's, and those question and answers are also recorded, and they are also labeled, and they are individually uploaded on our YouTube channel. Praveen Uncle believes in that PowerPoint presentation. He has details of all the topic in this PowerPoints, and we also share that with our attendees via email. Since last 3 years, we have also done Paryushan daily discourses. And they were like for 1.5 hours long, with question and answer at the end. And again, all these sessions are also uploaded and available on our YouTube channel. During Paryushan, we take the topics of Jain Anuyog. I think Pratiksha already mentioned that in the beginning, how Jain Anuyog can help you understand the essence of Jainism. It's like Jainism in a nutshell. How we do this all Pratikraman ritual, but do we really understand the meaning? Again, as we believe that first knowledge and then conduct. So first we need to understand what we are doing, then only it is going to be beneficial. So that's where Praveen Uncle explains of each sutra or each ritual of traditional Samvatsari Pratikraman and what is the significance of that, why we do it during Pratikraman time. Another very amazing topic is life of Mahavir Swami, our revolutionary hero, and the amazing lessons that we can learn from his life. And also for importance of Paryushan, Das Lakshmi Parva, what we can do as Shravak, what are our conducts, Jain conducts for us as Shravak. All these topics are included during this Paryushan discourses. We have also created a WhatsApp group for sending out reminders and important information or any announcements, or attendees can also ask questions in that WhatsApp section. So since we are virtual, we are so fortunate to have presence of some reverend scholars from India who have agreed to give their discourses to us via WebEx format. So one of them is Pujya Kirti Chandra Maharaj Sahib, popularly known as one of the Tripati Bandhus. He is so knowledgeable and he is master in Ashtanga Yoga, that 8 limbs of Ashtanga Yoga. He has mastery in Dhyan, Pranayam and all. So he conducts his lectures weekly on Saturday mornings from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And his lectures are in Gujarati language. And since this year, end of February, beginning of March, we were fortunate to have Pujya Vaibhav Shriji conduct her discourses on various topics of Jainism. She has amazing, powerful explanations, and they are so simple and so easy to understand. If you have not attended her lectures, I would definitely say you should. It's really eye-openers. So she gives her lectures on Sunday evenings from 9:15 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Again, these are all Eastern Standard Times. Currently, we are on the topic of the Dwarthadigam Sutra, and her discourses are in Hindi language. And they also are fine with question and answers. They welcome those questions at the end of the session as well. Or you can type it in the WhatsApp and we will forward those questions and they will answer to you at the next session. Again, all the sessions are available for you to view on our YouTube channel at Jain Workshop USA. So if you want to know more about Jain Workshop, adult workshops, or if you have any questions, or if you would like to be included in our WhatsApp group, do contact us. Our contact information is on the slide right now, and it's also available on our Jaini library. I think Rajesh already showed that, so it's available there too. So you can use any of that contact method to contact us. And now after this adult workshop, we also have Jain Youth Workshop, and I'm going to pass it to Pratiksha.
Yeah, absolutely. And the adult workshop, I'll just add one more thing. The adult workshops are like a spiritual retreat. And all of us attended that or used to attend that before COVID in person. And we cannot wait for those workshops to start in person. They are indeed one of the most incredible experiences that you would have in learning Jainism in a very, very practical way. So that is something that we have been talking with Praveen Uncle, that we just cannot wait to start those workshops in person, and we will soon. So then
I will definitely add, Pratiksha, this is where we all got together. I didn't know Pratiksha, I didn't know Shruti, but this is where we attended this one workshop together, and that's how our journey of Jaina Education Committee started. So definitely very grateful to that.
Absolutely. So during COVID, I think an opportunity presented itself with holding this Jain workshop for youth. And what we started doing at the time was like we were all running our pathshalas individually at our local centers. And we, especially in Raleigh and in Virginia, we were teaching this Jain values and principles in a way that it was very applicable and meaningful to children. So then what we started doing was we wanted to hold this kind of workshop for youth across the globe during COVID. So we started with very basic core intentions that we wanted to cultivate core Jain values and principles, and we wanted to make it accessible and available to children in a way that they can understand and relate to it and apply in their daily life. We wanted children and youth at a very young age to make good choices, to develop good characteristics, and in the process, they become very resilient and compassionate human beings. And this is very critical, especially for youth growing up in current times. We have faced different challenges, but the challenges and the life that they're facing right now is way different. So this is the time when these kind of values and principles are going to be so critical for our youth. And we wanted to establish strong foundation so that they can cultivate the right mindset and navigate their life skillfully. So with that intention, four of us, Sejal, Shruti, Rita Ben, and I, we started this Jain Youth Workshop. So on the next slide, what you will see is all of us, we were hosting these sessions, and our age range was from 5 years. So we actually started with 14 years, but there were people who were registering who were 16 years and they were still attending those sessions. So we had 4 different sessions going on at the same time. We would meet every Sunday. We would meet for 9 weeks. And our typical sessions for all of us, all 4 of us, started, we had this kind of plan. We had this kind of agenda for our session. So we would start with prayer. We would start with Namaskar Sutra. We would talk about the meaning of Namaskar Sutra and what kind of emotions, what kind of feelings we are cultivating as we recite that. Our every single session would have meditation. This is becoming critical for current time. This is where we are helping kids at the very young age cultivate the meditation, which is the core practice that Mahvishram even did. So we wanted to bring those kind of things back into forefront. We wanted to make back into mainstream, if you will, for our Jainism practices as well. Then what we have is what we call circle of sharing. This has become one of the favorite part for our youth attending that, because this is where they are learning from each other. They all share their experience. They all share that, oh, this is what I tried. This is what happened. This is what peer learning was providing a lot of value for them. We also have quote of the day, which is where we talk about all of these values and we show them these are the things that not just from Jainism, but across the globe and across all different practices, religion and political or any kind of practices, these kind of values are being used. Then we talk about, we would take one Jain value per day. We would talk about that Jain value. We'll talk about it in a form of story, activity, question, answer. And then after each session, we'll leave them with homework or challenge for the week, which was something that would help them put that in practice. And that would help them reflect on that and then see how it's sitting with them. And this is where we would help them understand the application of it and also get them into practice of journaling and writing and seeing, learning more about themselves in the process. And then we always end with universal forgiveness and friendship prayer. So far, we have conducted 3 workshops. One was in 2020-21, and then another one was in 21, and the last one that we conducted recently was in 22. So for each of these workshops, we have had full, the registration would fill up. On the day we would open, we would have waitlist people, and then we would add them to the next session. And so far, we have had 300 youth and from 6 different countries participate, and they were participate weekly. And the reason what we also did was we would not have more than 25 students in a class. And that was very intentional because we wanted to make it very personable. We wanted to make it very meaningful. When we have classes that are as big at 50 or 60 or 70 students, it's not becoming one-on-one and it becomes lecture-based. And we didn't want to do it lecture-based. We wanted to do it very interactive. And so that's where we were. And I think all of us, Shruti, Sejal, Rita Ben and I, we all have had kids from different countries attending. And there were kids from, I think a 5 or 6 year old, she would be attending from India, and it would be I think almost 11 p.m. or so. And she would still wake up. She would still stay up and do it. We had a student from Australia. It used to be 5 a.m. for her when we would have our sessions here. And she probably would be almost every single class, she would be the first one to attend. So I think this is where it was fueling all of us to do this even more and more. So if you have any questions or want to learn more about Jain Youth Workshop, you can contact us at jainyouthworkshop@gmail.com.
And I will definitely add, Pratiksha, that circle of sharing. Yes, it was very good for kids, but I think we as teachers or their team leads, we have gained so much through that circle of sharing. That was the most important time during that entire workshop. I mean, that particular segment. So definitely.
Absolutely. So any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And again, the reason why we are sharing all of this with through JAINA and through this platform is to make all of this information accessible and available to all of you, and then see what interests you and dive deeper in. So you all can dive deeper into it. So the next thing we're going to talk about is JAINA Education Block Committee. And JAINA Education Blog Committee is, and we'll go to the next slide. It's a blog. It's just essentially a Q&A website. The purpose of the Jaina Education Block Committee is to deepen understanding of Jain values and principles and its application in current times. And you see the theme here, right? Like, because this is something that this knowledge and these principles are universal. They are the same, but we really have to make it applicable and accessible in our current times. We want to reinvigorate the spiritual teachings of Jainism and create a very positive and enriching experience about the religion and enhance spiritual growth. So this really started, this project or this initiative started when all of us, as Sejal mentioned earlier, Shruti, I, Sejal, and even I think Dimple was in the second workshop. When all of us attended this workshop, we had tons of questions, and every single question that we asked Praveen Uncle, we got answers. But none of us trusted our memories enough to say that, oh, now we remember and we'll be able to pass it on, and then it will be available to whoever needs it in future. So, and what we started doing was, Praveen Uncle shared with us the questions that he had collected over past 15 years that he received from youth and Pathshala teachers and parents. And then when we looked at all of those questions, we were like, we have to get these documented. We have to get this answered. And we wanted a place to kind of store all of that. And that is how this project started. And then we had volunteers kind of reaching out to us reaching out to them. And then the journey began. So the blog is addressing wide range of questions, as kind of we mentioned a couple of times. It's some questions are very basic, some are very controversial, some are very contemporary. But the topics that we address are ahimsa, big one, right? We all understand ahimsa at the very core. Yeah, nonviolence, we want to have compassion, but there are so many nuances that needs to be addressed. So ahimsa, rituals, environment, women, equality, social issues, cleanliness, health, medicine, professions, all of those different categories of questions are addressed. On next slide, what we have is our committee. The Jaina Education Block Committee members are from various backgrounds and from various locations, and you'll see the committee members on the next slide. And this is our awesome committee of dedicated volunteers, all of us serving selflessly, getting together every 2 weeks, talking about these topics. And then every time we take a question, we all talk about it to great extent. We assign an author, we assign an editor, and then it goes through multiple reviews. Once we take a question, sometimes you will see us publishing responses or publishing our blog articles in a month. Sometimes it takes us 3 months because we are taking a lot of time to talk about those particular topic. We reach out to acharyas in India. We reach out to other scholars, whatever is needed. Our committee members, again, use all of these resources, Jain Library, Jain QQ, like all of those resources to do the research. And then we start drafting a response. After drafting a response, it goes through a lot of review cycle. There is an author assigned, there is an editor assigned, and then all the committee members review that. And after all of that review, an article gets published. So sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes a couple of months. So this is our committee, all the members here. So far, since May 2019, we have published 30 articles. We have readers from 20 different countries. There are 200,000 plus views. There are 879 comments that are already posted on the website. The questions that we are addressing are keeping the aim of religion and spiritual growth in forefront. And every single question that we address, the responses are based on the core Jain values and principles. And we are drawing attention to any practices that are not compliant with Jain values and principles. This is not to say that we are just trying to challenge things that are being done, but we are looking at what are the Jain values and principles. And because of the belief systems or just the way the cultural practices are, if things are not in compliance, we are just drawing attention for people to have them think about it even differently or see what comes up for them. Next slide, what we have is so far, the blog has provided thought-provoking insight to thousands of people across the globe. And there are numerous comments on each post. They are mostly positive, but then there are also some comments where there is criticism or there is positive feedback in a way, because when we are challenging mindset or traditions or rituals, then people do feel like it's taking them out of their comfort zone. So there are all kinds of different kinds of challenges, but mostly the comments are very positive that They love it. People really appreciate the difficult topics that are being addressed. They appreciate the logic and the thought process and giving them all the information to help them make their own decisions. And our committee members have been invited to different pathshalas to help talk to their teachers. And a lot of pathshalas are actually using this as part of their curriculum. The blog has also provided a platform for people to share their views for further dialogue on this challenge, on this challenges topic. So what you will see on the blog is sometimes someone posts a comment, other people reply, and then people are having conversations within them to talk about these topics. So the articles that we have published so far are, and these are links, but once you go on the blog website, you will get access to all. You can see all the articles. We just, as we mentioned earlier, we started with what are our guiding principles for us as a block committee. What is our purpose and approach? We have addressed articles on aparigra. You can see we have addressed numerous articles in category of ahimsa. During COVID, we also talked about how do we all were going through very challenging times, and all of us were facing different kinds of situations. So how do we spiritually navigate COVID-19 crisis? And this is not just for COVID. This is the mindset is for any challenge that we could be facing in our life. We also have topics on rituals. There are various articles that have been published also on climate crisis, which is something that we all know that all of us are facing, on social issues, on Jain V1 activism, abortion. There are many different topics that we have addressed in category of social issues as well. Next slide. So in summary, I think addressing these challenges has provided a great learning opportunity for all of us as committee members. And we heard that from everyone that he has talked about so far, that it's not that we are giving, we are receiving so much in this journey. We are learning from each other. We are obviously learning so much from Praveen Uncle. So this is a journey that we all enjoy. And I think this is what's making all the volunteers so motivated to be part of this kind of effort. The blog is answering questions for curious minds who wants to understand rather than just follow blindly. And as mentioned earlier, the whole purpose was to reinvigorate spiritual teaching of Jainism, where we find meaning and feel connected and thrive and live our life in the best possible way. So what we are going to do next is we are addressing more questions on different topics. I think our next question is going to be on social issue. Then we have a question that is already lined up on ahimsa, and then we are looking at questions on philosophy and literature as well. So if there are any questions that you have, feel free to reach out to us, share that with us, and you can even look at the blog, and if there are questions that you want us to address, and send us an email. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pratiksha. And I also want to mention that now JAINA Block Committee is a separate committee under JAINA, and Pratiksha is our the coordinator or chair person for JAINA Block Committee, and she is the glue that keeps us all connected and motivated to do this amazing work. So I'm so blessed to be part of that JAINA Block Committee, and so blessed to have certain amazing individuals to work with. Moving on to English Pratikraman. Now, one might wonder, like, what is this English Pratikraman? How is it different? So what was the purpose and objective behind creating this English Pratikraman? It was to put together a simple yet comprehensible Pratikraman for English-speaking youth and community in US. So it does provide the original sutras along with its translation, transliteration, and meaning. And we have tried to make it as non-sectarian as possible. And also we are trying to make it relevant to current time. So that is work in progress while we are updating the Atichars. So this is one of the reference books that you will find on JAINA Library. It was first published in May of 2006, and then we got some comments, some reviews, and more inputs, and that's how the next edition, and currently we are on the 6th edition that was published on January 2016. So just for your reference, it's JAINA Education Series, book 931 and edition 6, and it is under one of the reference books in Jain Pathshala book section. So as we always mention, Pratiksha also mentioned that we do not follow anything blindly. We want to understand the meaning behind any ritual that we do. And Praveen Uncle definitely believes in that. And that is what we wanted to do for English Pratikraman. We wanted kids or our youth or English speaking community to understand and then perform that ritual, because that is what is going to get you the maximum spiritual benefit. And only if you understand it, then only you will be able to properly reflect on it. Then you can have that sincere confession and genuine repentance. All this is possible if you understand what you are saying and what you are doing. We also want to thank Praveen Uncle for this amazing creation of this English Pratikraman, Acharya Shri Nandikush Suri Maharaj Sahib, Ajay Sagar Ji Maharaj Sahib, and late Shri Tirajlal Pandit Ji for their guidance for this Pratikraman book. Several authors, there are so many people that we are thankful to, our community members for the source material, for editing and reviewing. There are so many, and we could not have done this without your help. So our sincere thanks to all of you. So this Pratikraman also covers our 6 essential practices, or known as Cha Avashyak. So it contains Samayik, Chaturvimshati Stava, Vandana, Pratikraman, Kayotsarg, and then Pachkan. So all this have their sutras and all the meaning and the translation and transliteration, everything is available in our Jain Pratikraman, English Pratikraman book. And other amazing features that this English Pratikraman book has, I highly recommend, take a look at this, read it. You will find some amazing articles, some thought-provoking poems, reflections, stavans, and also you will get that understanding of what are the vows of our Shravak and Shravika, that 12 important vows. So you will definitely get a lot of information on this. During Paryushan in 2020 and 2021, JAINA Education Committee conducted virtual live English Pratikraman on the first and the last day of Paryushan. So all this Pratikraman, we also have pre-recorded links and audio MP3 files. They are also available on our Jain Workshop USA channel, and audio files are available on Jaini Library. PDF link of English Pratikraman book is also made available, so you can follow along whatever the performers are doing. And last year, we got a question that one of the parents asked that my kid is not able to sit during that English Pratikraman, which could last for 2 hours or 2.5 hours. They are not able to sit during that time. And he doesn't want to do it. So what can we do? And at that time, a thought occurred to us that why don't we create a special Pratikraman specifically geared towards the youth or young children, 14 and below, and get them involved, get them encouraged to do our rituals. And it has been very successful, fully conducted over the last 2 years. And the amazing part is that it is entirely conducted by children. They are anywhere from 5-year-old to 12-year-old, and they have done such an amazing and wonderful job. So how it is different from English Pratikraman? All the sutras, all the other things we have followed completely from English Pratikraman. But what we have done different is we have taken the gist of the meaning of the sutras and we have updated the atichars. For this 5-year-old or 10-year-old, their world is very small. It's like home, parents, friends, school, teachers, and that's it. So we have updated atichar according to their understanding, so they can relate to that and they can have that internal reflection on those atichars. They don't care about real estate, they don't care about jewelry or diamonds or pearls, but they do care about honesty. They do care about if they are making sure that they are not hurting other people by their words or by their actions. So we have tried to update Atichar for them that they can understand and they can relate to. And we have received some amazing feedback from seniors, from parents, from teachers, and also from our youth. Somebody has done the traditional Pratikraman for 55 years and more, but once they did this English Pratikraman, they said they were deeply moved and they'll continue to do that with their family. Some parents has also said that it has brought their children back to our culture. And this was from the youth that one of the best Pratikraman I have ever done. Thank you to all those who helped prepare. And I can say personally that one of the kids in my community, he was very reluctant to do the Pratikraman. And after doing this Pratikraman, he came to me and said, this was so nicely done. I understood each and everything. And I'm not going to just do this every year. I'm going to do it. I make sure that my parents and I do it every month. And he has been doing that. So that is what was so heartwarming for us when I got to know that it really affected him. It moved him deeply. So if you need any more information on this English Pratikraman, you can contact us at jainworkshopusa@gmail.com or jainyouthworkshop@gmail.com. And now I'm going to stop sharing and
so next, what we have is, so again, just looking at our program, we looked at knowledge. We looked at making knowledge available to all Pathshala kids. We looked at knowledge being made available through our internet resources, eLibrary, QQ, Quantum, and Searchable Agam. Then we also talked about interactive learning, which is helping us internalize that knowledge through workshops or through question answers. And next is spreading that knowledge. And this is where we have our social media presence and WhatsApp group and amazing work that is being done so that all of us as a community can stay connected and share our resources. So I would like to invite Kinjal to share the effort that she started, which has just completely blown into an amazing resource for all the Pathshala teachers. So over to you, Kinjal.
Thank you so much, Pratiksha. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Let me run
And
this.
can you just click on the slideshow?
Slideshow. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Top right.
Okay. Jai Jainana, everybody. My name is Kinjal Mutha, and I am the coordinator of USA Pathshala Teachers WhatsApp group. I have been teaching Pathshala for around 8 years, or a little bit more than 8 years. I want to thank JAINA Education Committee for giving me this opportunity to present about the group today. So before I talk about my initiative let's talk about Pathshalas and teachers. That's all we've been doing, right, for the past 2 hours. And our goal is how kids can benefit, adults benefit, and we can spread Jainism. So the goal of Pathshala specifically is to have kids inherit our Jain values, follow the Jain path, despite being away from India. Every teacher tries their best to teach the kids in the best possible way. JAINA has an excellent curriculum for the exact same reason, right? But despite that, sometimes we find that it's hard to get attention of these kids throughout a Pathshala class. Sometimes it's an hour long, hour and a half. Kids get distracted. It's hard to keep them engaged. And as they go from middle school to high school, it gets even tougher. When Pathshala became virtual during COVID times, things got really difficult, especially with teachers who were technologically challenged. So every teacher, I think, can greatly benefit from resources that make Pathshala teaching a rewarding experience for kids and themselves. So that is where the social media groups come into place. It is a social media platform created for all Pathshala teachers of North America to utilize ideas, resources, methods, and techniques to make Jain Pathshala classes more engaging, fun, and fruitful. Let's start. I'll give a real quick review of the story. We started in September of 2020 during COVID. It quickly spread, and today we have around 200, more than 250 Pathshala teachers from 20 plus Jain centers. We have a Google Drive database where all the teachers share their collective knowledge. We get lots of resources, which is invaluable. It's a treasure trove. So I would like to go through it and just review real quick, give you an idea of what this group does. Our vision, after we came across when this group was done, all the ideas that came from the teachers. So our vision became, eventually we realized that it's to harness the collective knowledge synergize from the best ideas in an effort to make Pathshala teaching the most effective for our next generation. This is what I wanted to share with you guys. The drive has all the resources, PowerPoint presentations, activities, curriculums, games, lesson plans, quizzes, even some of the resources we didn't know they were there that existed. YJ Younger Minds, that was a great resource that all Pathshala teachers can use. And many ideas for cultural programs like Diwali, Maui Janma Kalyanak, lots of ideas were shared on the group. These are the customized curriculums. I'll run real them. They were shared by teachers of various sung. Each sung is unique based on the size, number, and the knowledge of the kids. Smaller Pathshalas have a wider range of kids, right? And larger Pathshalas have different classes based on individual age groups. So this customized curriculum helps them get their programs correctly. Another was outside PowerPoint presentations. During COVID, presentations became an important part of teaching. Without some of our teachers were like, we are not good with technology, so how can we help? So for many teachers, sharing these and using them became a very, very important part. Our teachers are very innovative, creative. They use puppets for storytelling. We got ideas about the Jane's Scavenger Hunt or Jane's Got Talent, which was also done by one of our Dallas teachers. Our teachers also are innovators and authors. They have written their own books, like Jane Karma book. I think Chicago Sun also came up with their own Pathshala book for a particular age group. Strength Academy is a group that came up with videos, YouTube video series that helped them learn about Jainism and how they can apply it to youth these days. Certain topics are of great interest to our younger generation, like we said, right? Talking about planets, vegetarianism, being a good citizen of the planet, how Jainism and ecology relates to, and also the importance of sharing the community, right? So all those topics are also covered in this. There are presentations to work on that. There are ideas that you can use in your class. One of my favorite parts of this group was each teach instant access to all Pathshala teachers all over the United States. How many times have we had a question that we had trouble, like, how do I solve this? Or one of my students asked me a question and I do not know how do I explain it to them. So that's where teachers come to the rescue. We had a question about how do you take sutra for every class virtually. We also had one other teacher came up, like a 5-year-old. How do you explain to them about the concept of soul? It is such a complex concept that even adults get stumped sometimes. One of the teachers from Canada messaged me saying that I'm great with kids in person, but online I'm having a hard time trying to focus and getting the kids to actively participate. So share any tips. And certainly all the teachers came to their rescue. One project I would like to share with you guys is many projects were shared in the group, but one project is called Coins for a Cause. It's a project where piggy banks were given as prabhavna to the kids. And they were told that they should help their parents at home. And in return, the parents will give them coins. It may be a dime, penny, quarter, however amount the parent wants to give. So they would give them a coin and they would collect this throughout the year. At the end of the year, we went to an animal sanctuary where the kids adopted animals, paid for the food for an entire month, and they used their hard-earned money for this great cause. And this project was replicated by many Jain Sanghs. I know Jain Center of Connecticut sent pictures of their kids participating in the same project. Our short-term goals are to have a Google Drive database. Basics are simple. We collect all the data, we organize it, so teachers can use it in the best possible way. The other was the Jain library integration. We were uploading the database on the Jain e-library, and that's how we got worldwide access to everybody. So everybody can access not just the WhatsApp group, but everybody else can access those resources too. Our long-term goals, some of them are to teach the teacher. I know Praveen Bhai has been doing a lot of teacher work, training workshops, and to have a question bank, to have comprehensive lessons plans for every age group. And since the database is increasing, we are adding more stuff to it. We would like to have a standalone website. You can search for materials and data anytime you need age group, topic. I need a story on karma or kashais. So if you can search it and you can come up with a story, or what you can search those type of activity. Or I need a project or a class activity for kids of a certain age group. So we would like to have a website to do that. And in the end, all the content shared is shared by the teachers alone. They are the authors. We do not validate the accuracy of the shared content, so you use it as your own discretion. But in future, that is one of our goals, to make sure that the content shared is accurate and it applies with the principles of Jainism or doesn't contradict any of the sectarian groups. Let's talk about a couple of the one I put in green says in progress, teach the teacher workshops, right? So teach the teacher, in partnership with the JAINA Long Range Planning Committee, we have put this project in practice. We've conducted 2 workshops, teacher training workshops, with the goal of teaching the teacher the content and delivery in a way they can connect with the youth of today, how they can share the material that they know and how they teach. Sometimes there's a gap between knowing something and teaching something, right? So this is where the workshop comes into place. We help teachers out, and Manoj Jain and Yogendra Jain have been pivotal in getting these workshops into practice. So we did 2 workshops. We'll eventually open up to rest of the songs as well. Question Bank was a second project that's in progress. All of us, we use JAINA education books. So one of the things is every semester, at least once or twice a year, each teacher comes up with the exam for the kids. So why don't we have the idea came up with one of our Pathshala teachers messaged me saying, why don't we come up with a question bank or something like that, where each teacher can write the name of the JAINA book number, the chapter number, and she can pull questions, she or he can pull questions that they can use in their Pathshala class. Because since everyone is doing the same thing, we don't want to keep reinventing the wheel. We want to make sure our efforts are maximized and the benefit goes to everybody, not just our Pathshala or our class alone. And this is it. I wanted to end this presentation saying that together we can do better as a team. So if you want to be part of this initiative, you want more information, please feel free to reach out to me. My text and WhatsApp number is there, and my email too. Thank you so much, Jai Janendra.
Thank you, Kinjal. This is awesome. And as you mentioned, this is a great resource for all of us and great resource for all the Pathshala teachers. So thank you for putting in all the work that you have been to start this effort that started with a simple WhatsApp group, and now it has blown into a big initiative. So thank you so much for doing all of that. And next up, we have our social media presence, right? Like in current time, if we don't talk about Facebook and Twitter, then we are out of date. So over to Rajesh to give us more insight into what we do for our social media presence.
Jai Janendra again. So we do have presence on Facebook and Twitter, not as active as people would like to, because the content or the things that we do normally doesn't have anything to do on a day-to-day interacting or something like that. So what we normally do is we post things like what we have as a notice or as an information position based pointers to look for certain pages or look for certain files or things like that. And Twitter, yes, we are a bit active on Twitter with the entire Samar Suttam being posted on it. Now the entire JAB manual is being posted every 2 hours. We have this whole program done. So it's a like little 280 characters thing that you can read, and it's end-to-end sentences that at least will give you a bit of knowledge on a daily basis. So would request you to see that. I'm just gonna share my screen here a little bit. So Twitter, I'm gonna show it's on, sorry, it's my Twitter. Jain eLibrary. So here, this is our page. You can come here and you'll see there was the last tweet about our presentation today. But before that, if you see 3 hours before, 7 hours before, currently talking about the 14 stages of Gunasthanak. And these are the exact content that is in our books, in our understanding, in our everything that we have been doing. So you have been going through all our presentation from a lot of people here, and these are the bits of things that you can catch up real time. Similarly, we also have on Facebook. So we have a page here. Facebook, not active as we would like to be, but oh, okay. Sorry, loading, technical issues, without which no presentation can go, right? So here we are. We have approximate around 10,000 persons following this group. So JAINA Live. So that's pretty much it. Like to ask all the youngsters or anyone who would like to be in touch with us, they can communicate through this or just keep on reading stuff, enhance your knowledge. And now we open up for the Q&As session. You are free to raise your hand. You can free to type in your messages and let us know if you have any question that we can answer or any of our committee member can answer. I hear Dilip bhai, you have a question. Sorry. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, Dilip bhai.
I just wanted to bring out some facts about Praveen bhai. First, that he was one of the first ones to receive JAINA Ratna Award from China. And
so Dilip bhai, I would request, if sorry for interruption, just to request that we can keep if you have a questions or something.
I don't have question. I have.
So I would request if somebody has a question, and then I will come back to you if it's okay.
Right. Fine.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. Shri, you have a question here?
Yes, thank you. Jai Janendra, everyone. Thank you for the great presentation. I have a question regarding e-library. I'm researching on a few things, and I was wondering, when I was, you showed the steps and I'm doing exactly according to that. But when I'm double clicking on the book, it gives me only index or content of the book. It doesn't give me the book. Could you please clarify what am I doing wrong or how to do it?
So
like example, Tattvarth Sutra, example, Jainism from viewpoint of Acharyas. Like many books I tried, and it gives me only 4 pages or 2 pages of content, what it has, the page number and all, but it does not give me the book. That is my
very good question, and we have received so many questions on this one. I would like to just share it here, just to show it in a minute or less. So you're looking for Tattvarth. You go to this page, and then there are I was explaining the first 2 links are relating to TOC, which is only the table of content, or what you are referring to as index. So
exactly.
When you download this, you will only get that thing. If you want to download the entire book, there is a file download and HR PDF download. So on the 3rd page, when you go here, you're trying to download this first 2 smaller files. They are meant to be only table of contents. They are not the entire files. The entire files are next to them.
I tried the 3rd one and the 4th one, the standard one and the high definition.
I can further reach out again to you. Just send me an email, and I will be able to resolve the points that you have for this.
Okay.
You can reach out to us on contact@JAINA Library.
Definitely. And I have second question for either Praveen uncle or.
Yeah, please go. Oh, sorry, Shri. I think you got mute or something. Oh, okay.
Is it okay? I can ask my second question.
Yes, please.
Okay. I was just wondering if I can ask Praveen uncle or someone else. Praveen uncle, if I'm doing my PhD and I'm trying to connect Jainism as one of my topic, how I can get mentor or from India or somebody higher level from India so that I can discuss or I can get some more input for my PhD?
Praveen Bhai is on mute. Praveen Bhai, you're on mute.
Rajbhai, if you don't mind, can you please stop sharing the screen?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Praveen Bhai, you're on mute.
Sorry. Thank you. Yeah. Koma Institute is the one that provides significant resources. Okay. If you need anything like that, we can take it offline. Okay. You can call me or something like that, and we will get you somebody for you to communicate for Indian libraries. Okay. To gather more information for you.
Thank you so much, Praveen uncle. And Rajbhai, could you please give me, if you don't mind, can you please privately give me your number in chat? I can contact you directly for my books research.
Sure. Actually, it would make sense to share the screen that we had here with all the contact details for anyone to reach out to anyone here. Just a second. If anyone else has a question here, meanwhile.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I speak, Raj?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was asking if we can have, like you had put round 1 questions, around 2 and 3. So we have made question and answers for kids on Bhaktambar, various 48 shlokas. So how can we have a workshop or you can upload on your website?
I don't think I'm capable to answer. I would request if you can just send the details to Praveen Bhai and he will take the call how to do everything.
See, this is if you can just spotlight me, I can just show you the latest PhD done on
Even if I do that, probably it will not make sense for a lot of people to see here. I would just again request you kindly to just send an email to Praveen Bhai. Just in case everybody needs to know, Praveen Bhai's email ID is on the presentation or on our website, jainaedu@gmail.com, or you can send me. I'll just type it here as well.
Yeah, Praveen Bhai, I'm always in contact with him. He knows all my research work, and even Manojji and Yogin Bhai, they know my research work. They have come here. So I was just saying, if these 48 magical tools for manifestation, which are very simple and easy to use, and if we can use them, like if team of YJ starts a Bhaktambar helpline where we can help non-Jains also in field of education, in field of getting jobs, visa, and many other things, if we can work.
Thank you. Akash, you have a question?
Rajesh?
Akash? Yeah.
Rajesh,
oh, yeah, Virendra Bhai, sorry. Yeah, Virendra Bhai.
Not a problem. Regarding a question from Sri, who I thought she wanted to know if there are scholars in USA where she can reach out to those scholars about the questions he might have regarding the topics of Jainism. So yes, there is a list of what you call the scholars available for question answers or reference point. And yes, Sulek Jain maintains that and we can get the number for Sulek Jain or even Dilip Bhai Shah, he can get those things just locally, like Pujya Girish Bhai, we refer him all the time, or we ask him if there is a question. So there are quite a few scholars available here in USA itself who could answer or who could help the person like Sri or the topics she's researching on.
Thank you so much. I'm in California, in Southern California, and I think I will definitely try to reach out to Dera sir.
Yeah, no, don't reach Dera sir. My suggestion would be to reach one of the person because Dera sir does not maintain that kind of information. So if you want, you can ask, you have my number and we can talk afterwards. And then I can get you in touch with either Dilip Bhai or what you call the Sulek Jain and many other people who would be the right person, particularly here in USA, who could help you through.
Sure. Thank you very much. Jai Jinendra.
Akash, you had a question?
Jai Jinendra all. My question was regarding to the research as I am pursuing. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
As I'm pursuing MA in Prakrit, so I'm seeking the opportunities for PhD in USA, that North USA. So is there any particular list where I could find out where are the centers are running under the JAINA so that I can apply for PhD over there?
I think Harish Bhai, or you want to answer this about the JAINA academic thing, I believe. Oh, Jaswant Bhai is here. Yeah. Yeah, I think we have a right person here as well. Jaswant Bhai, you want to say something?
Yes. Any academic program and a PhD, if anybody wants to do it at the university level, bachelor course, master course, or a PhD, please reach out to myself or Sulek Jain, and we would be able to help you and direct you to the right place. We have those resources, and now Jain academic education is being taught at almost 40 different universities, and we have a good presence, and that would be very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. I don't think we have any other question. Praveen Bhai, you want to talk about?
I think we had one more question from Mansi in chat just recently. How may I get more involved with one or more of the current projects? So Mansi ji, the slide that Rajesh shared, you saw all the projects, and whichever one you would like to get involved in, just reach out to any one of us and we can talk to you further. And I believe there were other questions that were mentioned earlier. If any of your questions are not answered as we went through all the presentations, then please reach out to us, or you can share you can ask your question here.
Rusha, Kuda, go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, Jai Jinendra, everyone. I'm Trusha Goda from Mumbai, India. So my question is, I'm a certified sound healing therapist and I'm studying in the sound. So I would first thing is I would like to contribute whenever it is required for sound healing, because I have 9 bowls set with me, and whenever it is required online, I would like to help you. And the other is related to sound. If there is any literature in Jainism, I would like to study more. Can you please guide me? Thank you.
Again, out of my coverage, so I would request you just type in an email a little bit more with more information to Praveen Bhai. He should be able to guide you there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think if you have any questions, as
I think
please.
Dilip, we wanted to just do something.
I'm sorry.
Dilip, we wanted to say something earlier. Dilip bhai, you wanted to say something? unmute.
I just wanted to provide some background information on Praveen Bhai. As I said earlier, that he has been a recipient of JAINA Ratna Award, one of the earliest ones. And the secret of his success, I think, is his passion and untold amount of contacts he has developed in India with the scholars and sadhus and have that. We must remember that he was one of the earliest in China to talk about veganism and wrote an article about his visit to a dairy farm, which became a classic piece to introduce veganism in China. And last but not the least, I think Aarti Ben, Praveen Bhai's wife, has been a very, very supporting person to make Praveen Bhai's work easier. That is all I had to say.
Definitely agreed, Dilip Bhai. Aarti Aunty is the pillar of support to Praveen Uncle, and that's why he's able to undertake so many projects successfully. Definitely our sincere appreciation and thanks to Aarti Aunty always. And she is also a scholar herself. Anytime if you ask her questions, she will explain you in a very, very subtle way, but you will get your answers. So we are very fortunate to have her by the side of Praveen Uncle. So this brings us to the end of...
a very staunch devotee of Muni Sushil Kumarji. His blessings are there on Praveen Uncle and Aunty.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
Can I say something?
I'm
in Raleigh with Praveen Bhai, very close by, and I sincerely appreciate both of them. If I have to talk something, I will talk with Aarti Ben, and then I think my work gets done. Thank you very much, and I'm very, very proud of you, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we should, right?
Yes. Thank you all for joining. And Praveen Uncle, I'm going to pass it to you for your closing remarks.
Yeah. Jai, thank you. I think it is turned out to be much better than what I expected, even though we ran into overtime. But I think it is worthwhile. Okay, we got so many responses and so many things we have done, and always it looked like burden is on me that I have to know and keep up myself with all these separate projects what I'm running into it. This will be really open up more people, and they will know how the things are happening. It Jain literature has been really suppressed for a long time because not many people with an academic degree that can do more research work on the Jain. Particularly, Jains are least knowledgeable people in the academic field. Okay, I was like in Sagarwal Jain's Institute. There were 8 people were doing PhD, and not a single was born Jain. They are all different faith, different religion doing PhDs in Jainism. What I'm trying to tell you, these are the kind of the things we had it. And the main reason was in the high school and all their things, no, they did not have very clear concept of fundamentals of Jainism. You got to prepare these things and make sure they got interested in it. Today, there are several doing the PhDs, and they already are teaching know that I keep in touch with almost every academicians, and because they need one type or another type of the information, and I go out of my way even to provide all these things. So what we need to do basically, okay, we make sure we bring the scholars, okay, out. Today, like, even if you look into it, veganism, oh, it is not a Jain. These are the Acharya level Maharaj Sahib is talking. Is this the kind of the things what happens? The children or kids or even adult education, they live Jains. Even their gurus have no knowledge of this Jainism. All right. So it is all our collective responsibility. I'm not saying we need to educate them. All right. That is the best thing to do instead of just, okay, listen to them, yes, 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 and doing that one. We have to, the Shravaks have to take the responsibility and politely, respectfully educate them. They are good in the religious aspect of it, like Agam studies and so many other things. But the contemporary education, it is our responsibility to provide them proper education and materials in the education. Anyway, my point here is collectively we should think about it and make sure if we find something somebody is doing wrong, which we know it, and we have in this technology area, we can easily find out, like violence, hinsa. I mean, we know exactly what, we are not talking here one sense violence. We are talking Panchendriya animals violences. All right. And it doesn't take any geniuses to figure it out, what is the violence and what is the Panchendriya, five sense animals violence. That is the highest, committed sins if we do any hurting of the five sense living beings. Okay. So you need to educate yourselves, understand this one, educate all our leaders, particularly in India and America has only two Sangh, not Chaturvid Sangh, just Shravak and Shravika. There are no monks and nuns, basically it's what we call. And in that environment, we got to carry on these traditions. Anyway, I'm glad, you guys listen to this one. I am, from bottom of my heart, I am so satisfied. Okay, all the effort what we did in this country, we can see the result. Significant number of young teachers are everywhere now. Okay, and they are really studying the Jainism, reading it with all the literatures and whatever we have provided here. And please continue it. All right. Motivate the other, motivate your children, and make our Pathshala really rich in an education point of view. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you. Thank you for all your support.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Praveen Uncle. And thank you to all of our community members and all of you for attending and listening and motivating us, and just you're overwhelmed with the support. So thank you all. And before I invite Harish Bhai for just some closing comments or any other thoughts, we thought at least we'll end this with Kamemi, our universal forgiveness and friendship prayer, and then I'll hand it over to you, Harish Bhai.
Okay. I'd like to at least thank Pratiksha and Sejal and Rajesh and all these members who put so much time and effort into it. Thank you. I think we will reap the reward for all those things, and you will see how Jainisms are proliferation. Thank you very much. Okay,
thank you,
everybody, and thank you, Harish bhai, okay, for arranging the programs. Okay, without that, it would not have been possible. He was after me. Okay, why are you not doing this thing? I'm making all the things available. All right, and thanks. You can see the result. Okay, and sorry about the thing go little late timing wise, but I think it's too many things to cover it. Okay, so I hope you understand it that way. Thank you, Harish. Okay. And everybody and everyone who attended it know all these things. Jaswant Bhai is like one of the pioneer, on the veganism, and that is really, really great when he made the whole Jain Center of Los Angeles making the. No, I could not even believe it when I heard the news. Okay, among all the centers, Los Angeles Center. That one I say small center, yes, but not like this. Anyway, things are changing. Surprising things happens. Okay, and that's all I can say. And everybody still staying until the end. No, it's about a couple of hours overtime now. But thank you, Pratik. Okay.
Thank you. We'll do Kamemi and then I'll hand it over to Harish bhai. Kamemi savva jiva kamantu me, mitti me savva bhuve su, veram majam kenai. Thank you. Over to you, Harish bhai.
Thank you, Pratiksha Ben. Really thanks to the whole committee, starting from Manish bhai Visaria, Kinjal Ben Mutha, Sejal Ben Shah, Pratiksha Ben Shah, Sudesh Bhai Shah, of course, from Ahmedabad, India, Sweta Ben Daftari, of course, Raj Bhai Salecha, Kailash Ji Mutha, Virendra Bhai Shah, and the person who I think way ahead of his time, at least quarter century or more, Praveen Bhai Kesha, thank you very much. There is a legendary personality here, and Jaina is really proud of you, Praveen Bhai, that, we all are here in the United States, and, what we are witnessing today is what has been established here, has been going out throughout the world, and India, where the Jainism was really, I don't know how to put it, but that's where the Jainism came from. And today, a lot of things in India are adopted by the Jaina Education Committee literature. So with that, thank you so very much to everyone who have participated, and Michami Dukram to everyone. And thank you very much again for joining. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your time, and thanks for all your efforts.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra.
Orientanam.